I accidentally bring home a cancer diagnosis report I use as a prop on set. My usually cold contract wife, Vivian Sterling, asks me at dinner how many months I have left. I think she means our 5-year marriage contract, so I answer, a little over a month. She falls silent. Later I quietly go abroad to study. Half a year later when I come back, I hear from friends that Vivian has gone mad searching for her deceased husband. Alive, I want to see his face. Dead, I want to see his bones. Turn this city upside down if you have to, just bring him back to me. Miss Sterling, dinner is ready, we can eat now. But Vivian is still lost in that cancer diagnosis report, with no idea that it's just a prop from my drama. Vivian snaps out of it. On the table are 3 dishes and a soup, all her favorites, but tonight she has no appetite. After a few bites she looks up at me and asks, how much time is left? I freeze for a second, then realize she must mean the 5-year contract. A little over a month. This day, I have long prepared myself for. After all, when we got married, Vivian's secretary gave me a serious warning that Vivian chose me as her husband, not only because her family pressured her to marry, but more importantly, because my face looks somewhat like her first love who went abroad 5 years ago. In other words, I'm just a substitute after her first love left. And now, her first love is about to return, so her sudden question about the contract probably means she wants me to make room for him. As my words trail off, I catch a slight frown on Vivian's face. I sigh inwardly and add, please don't worry, Miss Sterling. When the time comes, I'll leave on my own. I won't cause you any trouble. Honestly, I understand. After missing her fist's love for 5 whole years, she doesn't want him to see another man by her side. That's only natural. Over the years she has treated me decently. I shouldn't make this hard for her. Let's do this, Miss Sterling. I'll move out as soon as I can, but housing in Yorkfield is hard to find. Could you give me 3 days? In 3 days, I promise I'll be gone. You really want to leave that badly? My sentence somehow sets Vivian off. Clear irritation flashes across her face, and I don't understand what she means. Her face turns ice cold as she stands up. I didn't say move. You stay here and stay obediently. Then she walks straight back to her study. I stare blankly at her retreating figure, unable to grasp what just happened. Vivian rarely speaks to me first, and when she does, it's always something important. Today she brought up the contract herself, clearly wanting to settle it fast. And I already offered to leave. By all reasons she should be pleased. So why is she irritated? After some thought, I think I get it. She's a billion-dollar female CEO after all. She still values her word. She probably can't lose face on this, so she wants to honor the remaining month of the contract. She's always been like that. Over the years, she's been cold to me, but she has never broken a promise. Still, just because she values the contract doesn't mean I should be tactless. I should find a place fast and move out early. After dinner, I clean up and grab a folder from the coffee table, heading to my bedroom. This drama starts filming in 3 days, and I need to study fast. The moment I open the folder, I freeze. I brought this diagnosis report home. This report is a prop for my character. Lily must have accidentally slipped it in with the script. After dinner, I sit at my desk and study the script carefully. I have always been very serious. No matter what I do, I give it 100%. The role Lily landed for me this time is only the 5th male lead in a low-budget web drama, but I still pour all my passion into understanding this character. Soon, it's 9 o'clock. I glance at my watch, get up, and head to the kitchen. Vivian is a workaholic, especially these past few years since she took over the family company. She has been so busy she often forgets to eat, which gave her serious stomach problems. After I learned this, I spent a fortune consulting renowned traditional Chinese doctors, bought stacks of medical books to study, and developed a medicinal porridge. It works like magic. Ever since Vivian started having this porridge, her symptoms have eased a lot. So every night, I make her a bowl. Even when she's away from home, staying at the office for long stretches, I deliver it rain or shine. 5 years. As an employee, I think I'm pretty qualified. The fragrant porridge is soon ready. I scoop a full bowl and walk to the study door. The moment I arrive, I hear Vivian's voice drifting out. She seems to be on a phone call. Her voice is unbelievably tender. Hard to imagine that the usually icy Vivian has such a soft side. Are you coming back early? Good. I'll pick you up at the airport. I already told you, he and I are only a contract marriage. In these 3 years, I haven't even let him touch a finger of mine. The contract ends in 2 months. I'll make it clear to him then. I wait a while until she hangs up before knocking on the door. Vivian opens it. Miss Sterling, this is fresh porridge. Drink it while it's warm. I won't bother you. I set it down and turn to leave. Do you have any wish? Vivian suddenly asks. I pause, then put on a gentle smile. I know Vivian has always been kind. Since she took over Sterling Group, she has built dozens of Hope schools alone. And she's a well-known philanthropist in Yorkfield. Maybe realizing the contract is ending, she wants to offer some kind of gesture. Thank you, Miss Sterling. I shake my head gently. 5 years ago, you gave me $5 million in one payment. Over the years, you've also given me many gifts. It's more than enough. I have no wishes right now, but thank you anyway. Vivian falls silent, saying nothing more. Just as I'm about to leave, she speaks again. I know an internal medicine specialist. He's renowned both at home and abroad, especially skilled with lung disease. I've already called him. I'll send you his contact in a moment. You can go see him. When I hear this, warmth spreads in my chest. 5 years ago, the orphanage I grew up in caught fire. The director, Grandpa Hayes, rushed into the flames to save the children again and again, risking his life. He suffered severe burns over a large area, and his lungs took in so much smoke that he developed serious lung disease. The reason I accepted this contract was to raise money for Grandpa Hayes' treatment and to rebuild the orphanage. I never told Vivian about this. I thought she wouldn't care. Turns out I was wrong, she must have quietly looked into it herself. Thank you, Miss Sterling, I say with sincere gratitude. The next day I get up early and make a hearty breakfast. While waiting for Vivian to wake, I stand in the living room practicing my lines. At 8:20 Vivian walks out fully dressed. I have to admit, this woman is breathtakingly beautiful. Any outfit takes on a unique charm on her. Breakfast is on the table. In the microwave I warmed some milk for you. There are several options, you can pick whichever you like. Vivian nods slightly, sits at the table, and takes small, graceful bites. As expected of a young lady from a wealthy family, Vivian received elite education from a young age. Every move radiates intelligence and grace, a delight to watch. Vivian likes quiet, so I can't practice lines in front of her. Just as I turn to head back to my room, she calls out, "Hey, I booked Dr. Jensen for you last night. He's coming to Yorkfield Central Hospital today for an academic exchange. Just call him when you get there." I nod and thank her. Vivian lowers her head, quietly eating again. I go back to my room, freshen up a bit, and not long after, I hear the door close outside. Vivian must have left for work. Once I'm ready, I head out to grab a cab to the hospital. The second I pull out my phone, a luxury white car pulls up in front of me. The window rolls down, revealing Vivian's exquisite face. "Get in, I'll drive you." I freeze on the spot. I know what this car means to her. Among Vivian's luxury fleet, this is the most ordinary one, but it was a birthday gift from her first love. Vivian treasures this car like nothing else. She doesn't care about her $10 million sports cars, but this one she pampers with extreme care. She can't bear a single scratch on it. She has never let any man sit in it, including me. "It's all right, Miss Sterling, I'll take a cab. If I scratch or stain it, I couldn't afford to pay you back." Vivian's brows tighten. I stammer, and under her colder and colder stare, I finally manage a thank you, and obediently get in. The inside of the car is eerily quiet, but then Vivian suddenly breaks the silence, and her words jolt me. "When was it diagnosed?" I think she means Grandpa Hayes. 2 years ago. Her brows knit slightly. "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" I'm puzzled. She's talking a lot today. She doesn't say this much. In a whole year. But thinking of her good intentions, I answer, "Miss Sterling, you're busy with work. I didn't want to bother you with these things." Her voice carries irritation as she says, "Even if this is a contract marriage, legally we're still husband and wife. You shouldn't hide things like this from me." She sighs again. "Call me anytime if you need anything." Half an hour later, the car stops in front of Yorkfield Central Hospital. "I have a morning meeting soon, so I won't go in with you. Cooperate with the doctor. If you need money, call me." I thank her sincerely. Vivian glances at me, then drives off. I walk into the third hospital bed. Lying on it is a man in his 60s, his face badly disfigured by the fire. Despite multiple plastic surgeries, he still looks frightening. But his spirits are good, and the moment he sees me, he breaks into a smile. "Ethan, didn't I tell you? Work matters. You don't need to keep an old man company every day." "Grandpa, I found a lung specialist for you. He's at the hospital today for an exchange. I'll bring him over later to take a look." I sit by the bed peeling an apple. Halfway through, a group of doctors rolls into the room for rounds, led by a tall female doctor. Even with a mask on, you can tell from her eyes alone she is stunningly beautiful. This is Stella, the prodigy doctor of Yorkfield Central Hospital, and also Grandpa Hayes' attending physician. "Ethan, you're here early today." "Dr. Stella." I quickly stand to greet her. These past 10 years, I've been so grateful to have Stella's care. I deeply appreciate this kind doctor. Stella pulls me aside and asks, "Ethan, are you short on money lately? Grandpa Hayes' treatment funds are running out. If you need money." I immediately understand. I really am short of money these days. The $5 million Vivian gave me 5 years ago is long gone. Over the past 2 years I've earned some on my own, but it's all gone into treatment and the orphanage. I have thought about asking Vivian for a loan, but she owes me nothing. And over the years she's actually been quite good to me. I simply can't bring myself to ask. "Thank you, Dr. Stella. I'll figure something out for the treatment." I decline her offer. Stella has helped me enough already over the years. I don't want to owe her another favor. Stella sighs softly. After 10 years together, she knows my temperament. I look gentle and obedient, but underneath I'm stubborn as anyone. "All right, if you need help, just ask. Unless you don't see me as a friend." "Of course you are. You're my only friend. You'd be the first I'd turn to." "Only friend?" Stella's face flushes behind her mask. She glances up at my face and her heart starts pounding wildly. "He's already gone and you're still staring. Careful your eyeballs don't fall out." A hand lands on Stella's shoulder. Startled, Stella turns around to see her best friend Kiki's teasing face. "What are you talking about?" Stella rolls her eyes at her. "Others might not know, but I do. Every time you look at him, your eyes practically melt." Kiki exposes her without mercy. Stella's bright face turns even redder. "Will you shut up? Between him and me, it's just a normal doctor-family member exchange. Nothing like what you're saying. Do you even believe that yourself? For 10 years you've taken care of Grandpa Hayes like he's your own grandfather. I've never seen a doctor treat a patient like that. Or maybe you've already cast yourself as his granddaughter-in-law? Honestly, Stella, if you really like him, just go for it. Who says it has to be the guy chasing the girl these days? He's a really good guy, super handsome, gentle, thoughtful. The orphanage has so many people, yet most of them just stop by briefly with a gift. Only he has cared for him faithfully for 10 years. Kiki says seriously, "In a society like this, guys with a conscience like that are rare. He may not have money, but your family does." A flicker of confusion passes through Stella's eyes. She still clearly remembers that day 10 years ago, when I knelt before her with pleading, dazed eyes, begging her to save Grandpa Hayes. Many people came from the orphanage that day. The others worried whether their belongings had burned up. Some might have worried about Grandpa Hayes' safety, but I was the only one wholly focused on his life. After that, she saw me by Grandpa Hayes' bedside every single day, day after day. They say no son stays filial through a long illness, but Stella never saw a trace of impatience on my face. Maybe this pure-hearted devotion moved her, and she began devoting more attention to Grandpa Hayes. Over time we grew close. What truly warmed our relationship was a violent medical dispute a year ago. The patient's family came in 7 or 8 strong. The patient was already at death's door when brought in and couldn't be saved, but they blamed the hospital and the doctor anyway, accusing the hospital of negligence and demanding sky-high compensation. When talks broke down, the gang viciously cornered Stella, the attending doctor at the time, in the parking lot, and one of them even pulled out a knife to attack her. At that critical moment, I took the fatal stab for her. I lay in the hospital for a full month before recovering. Stella snaps out of the memory and gives a bitter smile. Don't say things like that. He's already married. Kiki is shocked. But all these years, I've never seen his wife visit. His wife is busy with work. What a shame. A guy this good is so rare. Whoever ended up with him is so lucky. With him taking care of her, that woman must be incredibly happy. Kiki feels deeply disappointed. She had even decided that if Stella didn't make a move, she would. Who knew he was already married? Stella's heart is full of bitterness. Through the doorway, she sees my face inside the ward, laughing and talking with Grandpa Hayes, and she keeps losing herself in the sight. The day quietly passes. Because Vivian had called ahead, the appointment with Dr. Jensen goes especially smoothly. After the examination, Dr. Jensen tells me clearly that Grandpa Hayes' illness can be fully cured. It just requires an expensive surgery. Hearing this good news, my mood is great all day. Back home, Vivian still isn't back. That's normal. Out of the year, she's away from home more than half the time. Not just because of work, but because most nights she sleeps at the office. I know Vivian does this to avoid contact with me. She truly loves her first love beyond measure. For him, she keeps herself pure. In 5 years, aside from business, Vivian has never let any man get close, not even me, her husband on paper. Around 9 at night, I finish the porridge and take a cab to her office. Sterling Tower, a towering 80-floor commercial giant. Walking into the lobby, the interior shimmers in gold like a palace. I have to marvel at the wealth of Sterling Group, especially since Vivian took over. It has only grown more prosperous, more vibrant. Standing here, I feel small and humble, an unspoken inferiority creeping in. At home, facing Vivian, I never feel this way. But standing here below her company tower, I truly understand how vast the gap between us really is. Give me the thermal box. Tessa, her secretary, steps out of the elevator in high heels, coolly extending a slender, pale hand. Thank you. I hand the box over, and just as I'm about to leave, Tessa suddenly says, Damien's return has moved up. He may be back tomorrow afternoon. Damien is the first love Vivian has been thinking of for 5 years. To avoid misunderstandings, you should move out of Miss Sterling's home as soon as possible. I nod. I'm already looking. Tessa pauses at this, glancing at me a few extra times. She knows mine and Vivian's marriage is contractual, but she doesn't know my real reason was to raise funds for Grandpa Hayes' surgery and to rebuild the orphanage. She just sees me as a gold-digging kept man and has always looked down on me, never giving me a kind face. She thought I'd cling on, but she didn't expect it I'm so tactful. I even went looking for a place before she even had to say it. That's good. Saves her the effort. It's best you think that way. As you know, the one Miss Sterling has always loved is Damien. That hasn't changed for years, in fact. That love has only grown deeper. My words may sound harsh, but I want to remind you, don't think things you shouldn't. A toad will never reach a swan. You should know your place. After you leave, I hope you don't disturb Miss Sterling again. It would only cause her trouble. You know Miss Sterling has always been kind. There are things she can't bring herself to say, so I have to say them for her. My fists clench tight. I feel a knot of frustration in my chest, but after a long moment my hands slowly relax. I nod. What right do I have to be angry? This was always just a transaction. Alright, please tell Miss Sterling for me. I've always known my place and I've never dared to harbor any improper thoughts. I'll move out as soon as I can. With that, I quicken my pace and leave. Tessa stays where she is, watching me go, feeling a touch of guilt. Maybe her words just now were a little too harsh. She, Vivian, and Damien were all university classmates, and a mutual friend of both. Back then she witnessed their sweet romance firsthand, so she especially resents me, the gold-digging third wheel. What she just said was on her own initiative, meant to make me back off. Now this guy seems quite sensible. That's for the best, whether for me, for Vivian, or for Damien, it's the best outcome. On the way back, I realize I need to pack up and get out fast, so I go buy a large suitcase and start packing the moment I get back. By the time everything is packed, it's already noon. I'm not in a rush to leave. Either way, I should say goodbye to Vivian before I go. I wait until past 6 in the evening, but she still hasn't come back. I don't even know if she'll be back tonight. After thinking it over, I pick up my phone and send a message. Are you coming back tonight? After a long while, Vivian replies with a word, busy. I don't think much of it and write back, I've packed everything, I can move out tonight. I wanted to say goodbye in person, but if you're busy, I'll just say it here. The key and the porridge recipe are on the dining table. I won't be bringing you porridge anymore. I'm free the next couple of days. If you want to file the divorce papers, just let me know anytime. I don't expect her to reply. I put the phone down, give the house one last cleaning, and then drag my luggage downstairs. Looking back at this place where I lived for nearly 5 years, I feel a pang of melancholy. I lived here for so long, some attachment is only natural. This time, leaving, I probably will never come back in this lifetime. After a moment's thought, I open the door and step out. The instant I open it, I freeze. A terrifyingly dark face stands before me. My voice catches in my throat. I want to speak but can't. After all this time together, this is the first time I've seen Vivian wear an expression like this. She has always been elegant, cool, intelligent, like a fairy untouched by the mortal world. No matter how angry she got, she has never shown a face this ugly. It leaves me at a total loss. Did I do something wrong? I think it over carefully. Everything I did was according to her wishes. She wanted me to move out, so I moved out that very night. Why is she still angry? Could it be because I left without saying goodbye in person, that it's disrespectful? Either way, she's the boss. For an employee like me to quit by just walking out doesn't look right. A trace of embarrassment crosses my face. I'm sorry, Miss Sterling, I should have said goodbye in person, I apologize. I don't know why Vivian suddenly came back, but she's probably worried I might have taken something from the villa. After all, there are many valuable things inside, especially gifts Damien gave her. I've always noticed how much Vivian treasures those gifts. Like a watch worth tens of thousands, she bought a six-figure presentation case just to display it, placed right in the most prominent spot in her study, as if to gaze at it and remember him. Watches, paintings, and antiques worth millions and under are all over the house, none of them guarded against me. Now that I'm leaving, her concern makes sense, so I quickly say, I'm only taking my clothes and such. I can open the suitcase for you to check, or I can wait while you go through your belongings before I leave. Is that what you think of me? Vivian suddenly says. I freeze, mentally cursing my own loose tongue. Even if I thought it, I shouldn't have said it out loud. Saying that makes her sound petty and calculating, so I rush to fix it. Miss Sterling, I didn't mean it like that. What I meant was, inside. Before I can finish, Vivian cuts me off coldly. With that, she walks in. Watching her stride ahead, I feel a flicker of disorientation. Vivian's walk has always been elegant, every step graceful as a goddess, a pleasure to behold. But right now, she looks somewhat sulky, her steps wide and forceful. Puzzled, I drag the suitcase after her, thinking she probably wants me to go back inside so she can check her belongings first. After all, in such a public spot, a glamorous CEO like her can't lose face, so it's best to give her that face. Once inside, I voluntarily open my suitcase. 5 years ago when I first came to this house, I had nothing, just a few cheap changes of clothes. The clothes in the suitcase now were all bought later, and none of them are cheap. It's not that I'm wasteful. As Vivian's husband on paper, dressing too shabbily would hurt her image. Besides, I'm an actor, so I need to look the part. In the entertainment world, people judge you by your clothes before they judge you by you. Aside from the clothes, there are some acting books, a laptop, and 2 watches Vivian gave me. Both watches are pricey, even the cheaper one costs over $100,000. They were birthday gifts from Vivian these past 2 years. There isn't much. She doesn't look at the suitcase. Her stunning eyes stay fixed on me, faintly burning with anger. I feel deeply uncomfortable, a heat creeping over my whole body. Being stared down by a CEO with such a powerful presence, honestly, makes me very uneasy. Does she think I secretly hid her luxury items? Can't blame her for thinking that since I am poor. Faced with all those expensive luxuries, how many people could resist the temptation? Would you like to check first? Ethan, do you think this is funny? What? I lift my head and meet her blazing eyes. Take your stuff back to your room. She says it sharply, then strides toward the study and slams the door. What does she mean? I can't make sense of it. Telling me to take the luggage back to my room, does she plan to let me go only after she's done counting her things? Vivian is a queen in business, a famously brilliant businesswoman, but in daily life she's a bit absent-minded. She often forgets where she puts things. She has so many luxury items, she's probably forgotten about most of them. Counting them all could take a while. I hesitate, unsure whether to leave or stay. In the end, I lower my head and drag the luggage back to my room. Fine. Let her finish checking first. If something really did go missing and she blamed me, I might even end up in jail. I don't cook tonight, nor do I ask if she has eaten. My mood is restless. Damien comes back tomorrow afternoon, and Vivian might even bring him here. I don't dare entertain any improper thoughts about Vivian, but seeing them flaunt their love right under my nose, or maybe doing things even less appropriate, that would be torture for me. Am I really fated to suffer this? Well, I took her money. What's a little suffering? I lie in bed tossing and turning, not sure when I finally fall asleep. The next day, I sleep in for the first time in a long time. When I wake, it's already past 9. Vivian isn't home and I have no idea where to go. I don't know whether she finished checking her things last night. I think about calling to ask, but I can't work up the courage. I remember how angry she was when this came up last night. Worst case, if she brings Damien back tonight, I'll find an excuse to stay at a hotel and give them their space. I spend the whole day at home studying the script, and before I know it, it's past 5 in the evening. My mind starts to drift. Damien should be back by now. Vivian has missed him for so many years, she must be especially happy right now. What are they doing at this moment? At that thought, I drift off a little. Sometimes I feel quite inferior, especially next to a top-quality man like Damien who has a great family background, handsome looks, he's a major star, and they say his personality is great too. He's excellent in every way. Compared to him, I'm just an orphan with no parents, an 18-tier nobody actor who only lands tiny roles, crushed in every way. No wonder a woman like Vivian, a stunning CEO, falls so deeply in love with him. I can't say I love Vivian much, but at this moment I do envy Damien a little. I pick up my phone and suddenly see a post from Tessa. The picture is of Damien and Vivian having dinner together at a restaurant. I have to admit, Damien really is handsome, even from a man's perspective. I think he's handsome from every angle. Sitting beside Vivian, they look like a perfect golden couple. The caption reads, "After everything, it's still you. I'll ship this couple for 100 years. I try hard to stop myself from looking, but I can't help staring at this photo again and again. In it, Vivian's face is full of smiles, a tenderness I have never seen before. So she does smile. But her smiles are only for the one she loves, and I'm just her employee. never worthy of her smile. I put the phone down listlessly, feeling a tangle of emotions. Too unmotivated to cook, I rarely order takeout. Vivian probably won't come back tonight, she cares too much about face. After all, with me, this third wheel, still at home, given her personality, she most likely won't bring him here. Even if they want to relive old memories, they'd probably check into a hotel. I'm eagerly eating takeout when there's a knock at the door. I'm puzzled. The takeout is already here. Who would knock now? Could it be the property staff? I walk to the door and open it, and freeze. It's Vivian. Why is she back? Isn't she supposed to be in a hotel with Damien, pouring out their hearts to each other? I glance past her, but she's alone. No sign of Damien. What are you looking at? She asks, frowning. Oh, nothing. Why are you back? I ask reflexively. Vivian snaps. This is my home. Shouldn't I be back? Is that what I meant? Your first love is back today. You two should have endless things to talk about. Shouldn't you be at a hotel right now enjoying yourselves? I don't dare say any of this. I just laugh awkwardly and let her into the room. I figure Vivian is a proud woman, and a very traditional one. Her pride would never let her give herself away at the very first reunion. I've always known the outside world knows she's married, yet plenty of top-tier men still pursue her, but she's always cold to them. She has never been too close with any other man, nor has she had any scandals. Years apart in different countries might make them feel a little distant. After some time getting reacquainted, maybe she'll fully open her heart to Damien. You're eating this instead of cooking? She walks in, sees the takeout boxes on the table, and asks, I wasn't in the mood today, so I ordered takeout. Have you eaten? I can make something for you. I know she had Western food with Damien, she probably won't ask me to cook again. Why weren't you in the mood? She suddenly asks, looking at me. In that instant, her gaze falls on my phone on the table. While eating, I shamefully open that photo again, and even zoomed in. Vivian sees the photo almost at first glance and frowns. I follow her gaze, and my face turns bright red in an instant. I practically lunge to grab the phone and hide it behind my back, stammering, I opened it by accident. I want to disappear now. I really want to dig a hole and bury myself. So embarrassing. I want to die of embarrassment. Why didn't I close the phone earlier? I just want to vanish. Vivian gives me a meaningful glance, the corner of her mouth lifting slightly. With my head down, I don't notice the fleeting, stunning charm on her face. Too much takeout is bad for you, Vivian says, then walks straight toward the study. I let out a heavy sigh of relief. Looks like she didn't read into it. Her heart has only Damien, probably doesn't care what I think. I curse myself for worrying over nothing, quickly finish dinner, clean up the takeout boxes and take them downstairs to throw out. Just as I'm about to head back, I see a noble-looking man approaching from a distance. It's her first love, Damien. Why is he here? I frown. So that's how it is. I was just wondering why Vivian came back so early, why she didn't stay with her first love. Turns out they had already arranged for him to come over to catch up. Laughably, I thought Vivian was too reserved to bring him home so soon. Seems I overthought it. After all, he's the man she deeply loves. After such long longing, how could she bear even a moment of separation? But now I'm extremely awkward. Should I go back upstairs? Or should I be tactful and slip away, giving space to this lovesick pair? Or should I go back and say goodbye to Vivian first? As Damien gets closer, I have to admit, even I'm impressed. This man really is handsome. Damien and I do look somewhat alike. If we walk together, people might even mistake us for brothers. No wonder Vivian paid such a high price for our contract marriage. Wearing a face like this, I feel both grateful and sad. Grateful because thanks to this face, Vivian noticed me, and I was able to raise money for Grandpa Hayes' treatment. Sad because also because of this face, I became the substitute for years. Someone Vivian stares at to remember Damien. You're Ethan, right? While I'm caught in my thoughts, Damien walks up in front of me, sizing me up. His eyes hold 30% amusement and 70% mockery. I lift my head, our eyes meet, and I sense the contempt in his gaze. But I can't really get angry. Either way, I'm just this man's substitute. He has the right to mock me. Since I took the money, I prepared myself long ago for humiliation. You're Mr. Damien, right? You're here for Miss Sterling, I'll take you up. I quickly put on a smile. Vivian is my employer, and this man is her boyfriend, half my employer too. As a proper employee, I need to do my job properly. Damien pauses, then smiles with amusement. Then thank you. I lead Damien upstairs and immediately go to tell Vivian. I take a deep breath, walk to the study, and knock. What is it? Vivian's cool voice comes from inside. Miss Sterling, your boyfriend is here. Silence. After a moment, Vivian opens the door, glances at me first, then walks frowning to the living room and immediately sees Damien on the sofa. Why are you here? Vivian smiles faintly and walks over to sit beside him. I'm stunned. Wasn't this arranged? Vivian, Tessa told me you moved into a new place these past few years, so I came to see it. Nice decor. Damien, it's your first time here. Let me show you around. Sure. The two stand and begin walking around. When they reach the door of my room, Damien asks in delight, natural minimalist style, my favorite. Vivian, was this room originally meant for me? And this Bosendorfer grand piano? I remember I only mentioned in passing that I liked it. I can't believe you actually bought one. Vivian, you're so good to me. I happened to come back just after slicing fruit and overhear their conversation. I'm a little stunned. So this room was decorated according to Damien's taste. Actually, I like it too. Simple, understated, beautiful, especially that piano. I am not from this world. In my previous life I was also an orphan, raised by a poor grandfather, and I worked my way into a top music conservatory through my own effort. So I have a deep love for music. After I transmigrated into this world, the first time I saw this piano, I fell in love instantly. Every day while Vivian wasn't home, I would play for a while. Unfortunately, one afternoon she came back early to grab a document and caught me playing the piano in the room. I still remember how her face turned so dark it looked like a storm was about to break, and her voice carried a sharp edge of fury. Who said you could touch this piano? Without my permission, you are never to touch it again. At the time, I thought she was just afraid I'd damage this expensive piano. I kept apologizing and promised never to touch it again. Only now do I understand. This piano was bought for her first love, it belongs to him alone. After sitting on the sofa in a daze for a while, Vivian and Damien come back. I stand up. Mr. Damien, please have some fruit. Miss Sterling, I have something to do tonight. You two chat, I'll head out. I quickly go back to my room, grab a jacket and get ready to leave. Looking at this situation, Damien might even stay overnight. I'd better slip away fast. Better than staying here and being an eyesore. Where are you going? Vivian suddenly fixes me with an unfriendly stare. What could you possibly have to do? I feel a knot of frustration. I'm giving you two space, what more do you want? Do you really need me here as a third wheel to feel comfortable? I have no idea what's on this woman's mind. For a moment I can't come up with a good excuse, and just stammer. Her voice grows colder. Sit right here. I freeze in place. Vivian, since Mr. Ethan has somewhere to be, just let him go, Damien says with a smile to diffuse the situation. I let out a breath of relief, and throw him a grateful glance. Honestly, I may be a proper employee who follows every reasonable request from my employer, but watching people flaunt their love right in front of me, even eavesdropping by the wall, I really don't have such a weird hobby. The moment I turn to leave, Vivian shouts again. Stop! My foot, just about to step out, freezes again. Damien, it's getting late, why don't you head back early and rest? She puts on a gentle face, speaking softly. Damien is taken aback, almost in disbelief. He came tonight planning for something to happen, even bringing a pack of protection in his pocket. He never expected that, less than half an hour in, Vivian would actually show him the door. And yet, her next words leave Damien completely speechless as she adds tactfully, I have a morning meeting tomorrow. I need to spend tonight going over some materials. Once she says that, Damien can't insist. He stands and nods. Right, work matters. Oh, by the way, are you free tomorrow? I'd like to take you to a movie. Some other time, tomorrow, might be busy. I have several meetings. Damien pauses again, hesitating a long time before slipping into his signature smile. Alright, I'm back for good this time. We'll have plenty of chances. Damien leaves. Before he goes, he gives me a long, deep look. The coldness in his eyes sends a shiver through me. This guy really hates me now. I'm speechless. Vivian rejected him. What does that have to do with me? Didn't he see I was about to give them space? This makes me realize I have to stay far away from these two, or there's no telling how much more trouble is ahead. With that thought, I can't help asking cautiously, Miss Sterling, did you finish counting your things? Vivian's face immediately turns cold. Counting what? Your belongings. I haven't yet noticed her growing colder, and keep talking. I'm poor, but I'm really not that kind of person. You can search everything, nothing should be missing. Before I can finish, a wave of cold suddenly rolls through the room. I freeze for a moment, then look up and meet Vivian's gaze, looking ready to kill. Do you think you're being funny? No, I'm not. I can't figure out what's on this lady's mind. What I said is good for everyone. You finish checking, I leave early, everyone's happy, you win, I win. Isn't that what everyone wants? Why are you making this ugly face? She stares coldly at me for a long time, until my skin crawls. Without a word, she walks into the study and slams the door. While I'm still stunned, the door opens again. She looks like ice all over, her voice colder than ever. Ethan, our contract isn't over. I paid you. Before this contract ends, if you dare leave this house, you just try. The door slams again. I stand there, mouth open, speechless. I really didn't think this fairy-like CEO had a hobby of making people watch her and her first love show off their love. She forces me to stay. Is it just so I can witness how affectionate she and her first love are? Fine. I take her money, and I give her happiness. If she has this kind of hobby, I'll oblige. Only 1 month left. Just bear with it. Early the next morning, I sit in Lily's car, heading toward the film studios. You look terrible. What, did that bossy lady at home not let you rest last night? Lily glances at me, unable to resist teasing. I blush awkwardly. Lily, please stop joking. Lily giggles. She loves seeing me blush. If I had a sweet puppy like you at home, I wouldn't let you rest all night either. I look awkward, not sure what to say. She smiles and returns to the topic. How's the script going? It's going okay. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Your role is the fifth male lead. Not much screen time, not much demanded. I nod. The filming location is at Yorkfield Film Studios, about an hour and a half from the villa area. By the time we arrive, it's just past 8 and the crew is still preparing. Lily leads me straight to director Reed. This is a low-budget web drama, and my role doesn't have much screen time, so after he saw my photo and with Lily's connection, he just decided on the spot. This is my first time meeting director Reed in person. He's in his 50s, once a fairly famous director in the industry, with multiple TV dramas broadcast on major networks, and some real achievements. But these past few years, his luck has been bad. Every project flops, and gradually no one wanted to work with him. He had to switch to web dramas. But the connections he built over the years are still there. His eyes, hidden behind thick lenses, look me up and down, carrying a quiet authority. Not bad. Good potential. Even more handsome than your photo. Director, you flatter me. I'm just a newcomer. Please give me your guidance and feedback. I quickly respond with humility. Of course. Lily and I go way back. The people she brings can't go wrong. Young man, act your heart out. There will be plenty of opportunities ahead. Director Reed pats my shoulder encouragingly. While we're chatting, a sudden commotion breaks out among the crowd outside. Oh my god, it's Damien. It's actually Damien. I'm finally seeing Damien in real life. So handsome. Why is Damien heading toward our set? Is he joining this drama? Wasn't Wade already cast as the male lead? Damien is such a big name he's actually appearing in a small-budget web drama. The director is so amazing. Hearing Damien's name out of nowhere, I freeze. Then I see a tall, slender young man in dark sunglasses surrounded by 7 or 8 assistants and bodyguards walking onto the set. He wears a sharp, custom-tailored suit that gives him an imposing A-list presence. It really is Damien. Pink hearts practically pop in Lily's eyes. She clearly likes Damien's type too. Director Reed, I thought all the actors were already cast. What's Damien doing here? Director Reed bursts out laughing. I'm still in a daze. Last night I received a call from Damien's agent. He specifically requested to be in this drama, and he's even taking a very low fee. He still feels like he's dreaming. A low-budget drama like this, not only could it never afford an A-list star like Damien, even a second-tier actor wouldn't give it a glance. Who would have thought Damien would lower himself to do a guest appearance? Director Reed was so thrilled last night he couldn't sleep all night. Ethan, your luck is here, Lily says excitedly. With an A-list star like Damien in this drama, exposure and buzz are going to explode. If your performance is strong, you might even ride Damien's fame to get a little popular. I force a strained smile. Others don't know why Damien would lower himself for a low-budget web drama, but I know very well he most likely came for me. I lift my eyes to look at Damien surrounded by his entourage, and just then he looks my way too. Our eyes meet in mid-air. Damien casually turns his head away, with no intention of greeting me. Naturally, I won't approach him either, but Lily is anxious. A big name like Damien isn't someone ordinary people can reach. Now with this chance, she has to drag me up to make a good impression. I want to refuse, but Lily pulls me forcibly in front of him. Hello, Mr. Damien. I'm Lily, an agent from Skyline Entertainment. This is my actor, Ethan. He's the 5th male lead in this drama. She quickly winks at me, and I force myself to greet him. Hello, Mr. Damien. Damien's eyes, hidden behind sunglasses, hold a hint of amusement. He just gives a brief answer. Mr. Damien, Ethan is a newcomer. Please give him your guidance from here on. Seeing me unable to push for it myself, Lily has to do it herself. Young people shouldn't always think about shortcuts. Polish your acting, strengthen your professional skills. Nothing beats that. Damien's tone is cold, his words sparing nothing. The moment he says this, the set goes cold. Everyone turns to look at me in shock. In the entertainment industry, people usually keep up appearances, maintaining harmony. A face-to-face criticism like Damien's is extremely rare. How did this Ethan offend Damien? Everyone steps back a few paces from me, afraid that getting too close might anger Damien, the A-lister. Lily stares in disbelief, as if she never expected this outcome. Only after Damien walks away does she anxiously turn to me. Ethan, did you offend him? He's a huge star. When did I ever get the chance to offend him? I raise an eyebrow. As an employee, I don't want to make Vivian's business known to the world. Moreover, Damien is a major star. The slightest rumor would explode citywide. I can't believe he's like this. I used to like him too. Lily is very displeased. Between her idol and her own client, she sides with me without hesitation. My own sweet puppy is better behaved, way better than that snooty Damien. Don't worry, your role isn't big, and you have no scenes with Damien. From now on, just avoid him when you see him. Lily comforts me. I'm thinking the same thing. My character only exists in the female lead's memories. I have no scenes with Damien. At most, I just need to stay far away from him. But the unexpected often comes without warning. Leo, am I your only one? Tell me quickly, am I Bella your only one? On the playground, a young girl lifts her delicate face, stepping back as she calls out loudly to the handsome boy in front of her. Yes, Bella, you'll always be my only one. Cut, Director Reed suddenly roars. Ethan, what are you doing? If you can't act, get out. Do you know you're wasting everyone's time? The shout stuns everyone. Ethan's acting just now was brilliant, full of emotion, sincere feeling. No one knows where the director's anger came from. I'm sorry, Director, my mistake, I sincerely apologize. Director Reed barks, take it again. I steady myself and pour all my emotion into the character. But after that, no matter how I perform, Director Reed isn't satisfied. His curses grow harsher. Everyone can tell that this isn't a problem with Ethan's acting. The director is deliberately targeting me. Lily, what are you doing? What kind of actor did you recommend? Director Reed calls Lily over and bursts into complaints. I don't want this actor. Take him away. I'll wire you the breach fee later. Lily's face darkens. Director Reed, I need an explanation. Explanation? What explanation do you want? His acting is bad and now he's blaming me? Whether his acting is bad or not, you know in your heart. Lily refuses to back down. Director Reed waves his hand impatiently. Don't make a scene here, just get him out. Lily, let it go. Seeing Lily ready to argue further, I tug her arm and shake my head gently. I have no grudge with Director Reed. He wouldn't target me like this without a reason. The only explanation is that Damien is pulling strings. This is too much. Lily's eyes flash red with anger. Ethan, don't worry. If this little web drama is gone, it's gone. I'll find you something better. I trust you, Lily. I offer a bright smile. Walking out of the studios, Lily is still worried. Let me drive you home. No need, Lily. I have something to do nearby. I was looking for a place online last time, but I haven't heard back yet. I'll probably be filming around here anyway, so I might as well find a place nearby. Is there anything you need help with? No, just something small. Alright then, I'll go to the office and find you another project. Watching Lily leave, I'm about to head off when just then, a middle-aged woman walks up arrogantly. You're Ethan, right? Come with me. Mr. Damien wants to see you. I don't agree. Before today, I had no ill will toward Damien, even though he's the one Vivian holds in her heart. But what Damien did today truly disgusts me. I may be even-tempered, but that doesn't mean I have no temper. Are you deaf? Come with me now, the middle-aged woman yells, pointing at me. A good dog doesn't block the road. I walk past her and prepare to hail a cab. Hearing this, the woman's face goes green with rage. She grabs my arm. Who are you calling a dog? Let go. My face turns cold. And if I don't, what are you going to do? Being invited by Mr. Damien is the luckiest thing in your lifetime. A nobody extra like you. If not for Mr. Damien's mercy, you'd never see him in your life. And you dare give me attitude? Wendy. Damien walks over. Mr. Damien, this guy doesn't know what's good for him. He actually refused you. The middle-aged woman glares at me with resentment. Damien's lips curl into a mocking smile. Ethan, don't you want to talk with me about Vivian? This isn't the place to talk. What do you want to say to me? At the coffee shop, I look Damien straight in the eye. You saw what happened today. I only told Director Reed one line that I don't like you, and he kicked you out immediately. Damien wears a face full of mockery. Do you think you belong in the same world as me and Vivian? I frown. You brought me here just to show off your superiority. Damien wags his finger. You're not even worthy of that. I brought you here to tell you one thing. There are no fairy tales in this world. A princess will never fall in love with a frog, and a frog will never become a prince. Vivian's contract marriage with you is only because she sees you as my substitute. I believe you know this yourself. Now that I'm back, do you think it's appropriate for you to keep clinging to her? I lift my eyes. You're overthinking. I've always known my place. I've never thought about clinging to her. Then that's best. I hope you move out of her place immediately. I don't like any man being too close to her. I'm already looking for a place. Damien smiles and lights up his phone, pushing it in front of me. This is the chat between me and Vivian today. Take a look. I have no idea what he's trying to do. I lower my head and look at the chat. Are you waiting until the contract ends to make him leave your house? His health isn't good, you know. You haven't developed feelings for him, have you? After all, he is handsome. No, we're only contractual. I'm not heartless either. He has taken care of me for 3 years. If you really don't want him to leave, I can understand, but it would make me uncomfortable. I'll find a time to make it clear to him. Don't overthink it. To me, he's just a roommate I've shared a house with for years, nothing more. After reading the whole page, I have no interest in scrolling further. I push the phone back, a hard-to-describe feeling rising in my chest. A roommate, huh? That's really what it was. For 3 years living under one roof, we rarely spoke. It was always me one-sidedly taking care of her. While she only gave me 2 watches on my birthday, she never said a single word of care. Even a real roommate of 3 years wouldn't be so distant as to never offer a word of concern. Between the lines, I sense Vivian's hesitation. She wants me to leave, but her sense of decency won't let her open her mouth. I don't know why, after I have offered to leave so many times, she refuses. What is she thinking? Or maybe my resolve isn't strong enough. This time I'll just leave without saying goodbye. I'll tell her after I've already moved. Maybe this is exactly the ending she wants. On the 79th floor of Sterling Group in the CEO's office, Vivian is on the phone. Dr. Jensen, how is the situation? Miss Sterling, it's not optimistic. The patient's lung condition is severe, and it's been dragged on too long. I told him it could be fully treated, but in reality he probably has only about 2 months left. Dr. Jensen sighs through the phone. Vivian's expression freezes. Is there no other way? Money is not an issue. Currently, this disease can't be cured anywhere in the world. With enough money, we can prolong it for some time, but the patient will suffer. Vivian falls silent for a long time before answering. Dr. Jensen, you're the expert here. I'm counting on you. Don't worry about the money. Give him the best medicine. Yes, all right, I know what to do. After hanging up, Vivian slumps in her chair. Somehow at this moment her heart palpitates strongly, and a dull pain throbs deep inside. She can't help but recall the day Damien firmly broke up with her and went abroad to study. She had followed her best friend Daisy to the Aces bar to drown her sorrows. She doesn't like drinking, and especially hates the feeling of being drunk. But that day she downed glass after glass, as if only that could make her forget the pain inside. It was at that very moment that she saw Ethan singing on the stage. His voice was gentle, healing, and as he lowered his head playing the guitar, his profile, so similar to Damien's, in her days blurred together with the shadow in her heart. Suddenly, the wounds inside her seemed to slowly heal with his voice. In the time that followed, she, who had never been to bars before, showed up without fail in that same spot every day, waiting for Ethan to take the stage, looking at his face, listening to his voice. Only in those moments could her heart, full of wounds, find a little peace and comfort. Later, she got information about him from the manager. His name was Ethan, a recent dropout from college, desperately in need of money. He worked several jobs, print modeling and bit parts on sets during the day, singing at the bar at night. At that time, her family was pushing her to marry. So that night, when Ethan finished singing and prepared to leave, Vivian called him into a private room and handed him the contract. She still remembers the shock and surprise on Ethan's face, and how he solemnly promised to be a perfect contract husband. In fact, over the years, he's been flawless, her daily life taken care of in every detail. After staring blankly for a while, Vivian picks up her phone and dials a number. Vivian, what's the occasion that you'd call me today? Camille, I have a favor to ask. You have connections. Can you help me find a lung specialist? Other countries are fine too. Money's not an issue. Vivian, what's wrong? It's not me. A friend of mine has lung cancer. Okay, I'll do my best. I'll call you when I find someone. I search around the film studios area but can't find a suitable place, so I just register with 2 agencies and leave my info. I call Auntie Bennett, the caregiver looking after Grandpa Hayes, to check in, and only after hearing all is well do I return home with peace of mind. This time I'm determined to leave. After packing, I find a cheap nearby hotel and check in. At night, I'm at the hotel making do with a bowl of instant noodles when Vivian's call comes in. I hesitate a long while before forcing myself to tap answer. Where did you go? Vivian's voice is icy, with a hint of anger underneath. Miss Sterling, I'm staying at a hotel for now, I answer honestly. Come back. What? I'm stunned. I said come back. I really don't get it. I've put myself in her shoes and done everything I could. She was too uncomfortable to ask me to leave, so I left on my own. Her conscience made her try to keep me. Fine, I'll slip away quietly. I've gone this far. What more does she want? I can't help but frown. Miss Sterling, there's really no need for me to come back. What do you mean? I sigh. Miss Sterling, only 1 month is left on the contract. And now that Damien is back, if I stay there, I think Mr. Damien would feel uncomfortable, and so would you. Better to just end it here. 5 million over 3 years comes to about 140,000 a month. 1 month left equals 140,000. I'll find a way to pay you back, but I'm a bit short right now, so it might take a while. The other end falls silent, but I hear her breathing growing faster, as if she's holding back her anger. I'm a little annoyed. You already told Damien that you'd find a way to make me leave. There's really no need to keep up this act now. Miss Sterling, don't worry. I'm not a loose mouth. I won't go around talking about this. I would never tarnish your reputation. The only thing I can think of is that she's afraid I'll spread things outside, damage her reputation. After all, Sterling Group is publicly listed. The slightest negative news about Vivian could affect the company's stock price. Vivian remains silent. I thought my words would have satisfied her, so I breathe a sigh of relief, quietly hang up the phone, and quickly finish my instant noodles. I stand in front of the bathroom mirror practicing micro-expressions. I have nothing right now. The only thing I can fight with is acting. Ever since I transmigrated into this world, I have practiced in front of the mirror at every free moment, which built the acting and line skills I have today, especially with Grandpa Hayes, who still needs expensive treatment, plus owing Vivian 140,000. I feel a sense of urgency. As I'm about to go to bed, however, suddenly there's a knock at the door. I'm puzzled. Who would knock at this hour? I slip on my slippers, get off the bed, and peer through the peephole. I freeze. Vivian. How did she find this place? Why is she here? My head is a mess, my heart in knots. It's no surprise Vivian could track me here. After all, the Sterling family has connections everywhere. Finding out which hotel someone is staying at is far too easy for her. But I just don't understand. I've already made things clear. Why would she come in the middle of the night? I don't know how to face her, but she's already at the door. Not opening would be rude. I take a moment to prepare myself, then turn the handle and pull the door open. The moment it opens, Vivian's starry eyes lock onto my face. There is no expression on her face. Pack your things and come back with me. I stand still, quietly looking at her. She seems to have come in a hurry, her hair is slightly messy, and she's still wearing her custom business suit from work. Vivian is someone who values her quality of life. She doesn't drink hard liquor, but at home she often sips red wine. After work she would never wear business attire. She usually changes into something casual. She must have come home after work, seen the place empty, immediately pulled strings to find which hotel I was at, and rushed straight here. I just don't get what she's doing. She so clearly wants me out of that house, and yet she puts on this act for whose benefit? I'm not going back. I shake my head. I made it clear on the phone. What are you sulking about? Are you upset because Damien came to the house the other day? Vivian's brows knit tightly. I frown, stunned. Why does she say that? Does she think I'm jealous? At the thought, my face turns slightly red and I hurriedly say, Please don't worry, Miss Sterling. I absolutely have no such thoughts. You and Mr. Damien are the couple. You and I are only contractually married. I've known that since the day I signed the contract, and I would never have unrealistic thoughts. Please don't misunderstand. Hearing this, Vivian pauses slightly, looking a bit angry. In any case, the contract isn't over. I won't allow you to leave. Come back with me now. I shake my head. Since I've already moved out, I'm not going back. After all, I really don't have that weird hobby of watching a couple in love. I'll ask one more time. Are you coming back or not? Vivian sharpens her tone. Miss Sterling, I'm fine staying here. Vivian gives me a long, deep look, then turns and leaves. I quietly watch her go. For a woman this proud to come and try to convince me to come back, it's already beyond what I expected. I've spoken so harshly. With her proud personality, she should have given up completely. I feel a small wave of relief. I am grateful to Vivian. Without those 5 million back then, Grandpa Hayes would have died long ago, and the orphanage couldn't have been rebuilt. But one thing at a time, I don't want to go back to that house, to watch them flirt as a couple, and even less to see Damien's face. Without today's conflict with Damien, I might not be this resolute, but right now I have a physical disgust for that man. Past 11 at night, a call wakes me up. Hello, who is this? Ethan, what kind of husband are you? A sweet, sharp female voice scolds from the other end. Get to the Aces bar now. Vivian's drunk. All sleep leaves me instantly. I sit up in bed and check my phone. It's Vivian's best friend Daisy. I'm on my way. Without minding my messy hair, I quickly throw on clothes and grab a cab to the Aces bar. The moment I enter the private room, I see Vivian passed out on the sofa, cheeks flushed, mumbling something through her rosy lips. Daisy has also been drinking, leaning against the sofa, rubbing her face. She's the sweet, petite type, small and adorable, with looks that aren't as stunning as Vivian's, but still rare and beautiful. Ethan. The moment she sees me, Daisy plants her hands on her hips. What on earth did you do to Vivian to make her this angry? She basically never drinks. Look at her now, how drunk she is. I feel helpless. Miss Daisy, this shouldn't have anything to do with me. Maybe she had a fight with Mr. Damien. I don't believe my refusing to come home is what made her this angry. In these 3 years, Vivian has never invested any emotion in me, including her angry side. Her joys, anger, sorrows, and joys are only ever for Damien. Daisy pauses, thinks, and realizes, right, Vivian has never even given this man a proper look. How could she be so angry at him? With that thought, her anger fades. Just take her home. The moment she says it, she thinks of something and raises a brow. I'm warning you, Damien is back now. Don't you dare take advantage of Vivian while she's drunk. I take the chance to say, why don't you call Mr. Damien to come pick her up? I called him. He has an event tonight and can't get away. There's no other choice. Vivian is this drunk, I can't just leave her. Miss Daisy, if you don't trust me, you can come back with me. There are plenty of rooms at the house, you can stay overnight. Daisy thinks it over and nods. Fine, I really don't trust you. I let out a bitter smile, walk over to Vivian and easily scoop her up bridal style. Vivian is tall but very light, maybe about 100 pounds. On top of that, since I'm aiming for the entertainment industry, I work out every day in the third floor gym, keeping a fit physique, 8-pack abs, packed with strength. I find Vivian's car in the parking lot and skillfully drive toward the villa area. Ethan, your contract with Vivian is almost up. Daisy in the backseat rubs her aching head and suddenly asks, yeah, 1 month left. Now that Damien is back, what are you thinking? I know what she means. I already moved out. You moved out? Daisy is shocked, looking at me in disbelief. Yeah, staying at a hotel for now. I'll move once I find a place. Daisy stares blankly. Are you really okay with it? Vivian has billions. Even if it's a contract marriage, you two registered legally. Are you really willing to take nothing and just leave her like this? I smile. What's there not to be willing about? None of it was ever mine. On the contrary, Miss Sterling has taken great care of me. Without that money back then, I don't know where I'd be now. A person should have a conscience. She has been so good to me. The least I can do is not make things hard for her. After a long while, Daisy finally says, it's best you think this way. Think too much, and the only one who suffers is you. Back at the villa, I carry Vivian to the bedroom and lay her down, then expertly go to the bathroom, bring a towel to wipe her face, and immediately head to the kitchen to make hangover soup, patiently spoon-feeding it to her. Daisy stands beside me, watching in amazement. Do you take care of Vivian like this often? I smile. She's my employer. She gave me $5 million. I have no way to repay her, so I can only do the small things I'm capable of, so she doesn't have to worry about these trivial matters when she's home. Daisy pauses. Just then, Vivian's face suddenly changes, and she vomits over the edge of the bed. I don't have time to dodge, and the vomit covers me. Even the most beautiful woman vomiting is hard to describe. A foul smell fills the whole room. Daisy, standing beside me, gets some on her too, screams, and quickly steps back. By the time it's all done, it's past midnight. I don't even remember falling asleep. The next morning, I just finished making breakfast when Vivian and Daisy come out together, freshened up. You're up. Come have breakfast. I'm bringing the breakfast out from the kitchen, the beautifully plated meal. Ethan, did you make all this? Daisy stares at the table in shock. A plate of osmanthus cakes, shaped like hearts, decorated with fresh flowers, a plate of durian pastries carved into various little animal shapes, and a bowl of lean pork congee, the aroma reaching you from far away, making your mouth water. She really didn't expect I had such impressive cooking skills. Miss Daisy, it's nothing special. Just a few simple dishes. Vivian looks at the exquisite breakfast on the table, her eyes complex. Over the years, I have often made all sorts of breakfast for her in creative ways. She used to take it for granted, thinking nothing of it. Now thinking back, even hiring a 5-star chef wouldn't guarantee this kind of treat every day. This is so good! Ethan, did you study cooking before? Daisy sits down, picks up an osmanthus cake and takes a bite. Her big eyes curl into crescent shapes. No. I used to cook for the kids at the orphanage. After I came to Miss Sterling's 5 years ago, I had a lot more time, and I studied it for a while. Hearing this, Vivian can't help but lift her head, stunned. You're an orphan? Vivian asks in shock. She has never known this. Over the years, I have occasionally disappeared for a few days, saying I was going home. She thought I had family. She never expected I was actually an orphan. Vivian's heart is in turmoil. Just how little attention has she paid to this contract husband? After all these years, she doesn't even know my basic background. Yeah, Grandpa Hayes from the orphanage picked me up from a garbage pile and raised me. At 5, a family adopted me, but at 10, they had their own son and sent me back. I eat my breakfast, speaking in a calm tone, as if describing something unrelated. I'm so sorry. I didn't realize your background was so sad. Daisy's eyes hold pity. It's all right. I've long made peace with it. I pull out a tissue, wipe my mouth, and stand up. Miss Sterling, Miss Daisy, take your time. I'll head out first. Vivian parts her red lips, wanting to say something, but in front of Daisy, her cool, proud personality won't let her speak any words to make me stay. She can only watch me leave. Vivian, are you really going to end the contract with him? Daisy blinks and asks. Vivian frowns. Why are you asking? Vivian, if you're really going to end it with him, then why not let me have him? Let you have him? Vivian stares at her in shock. Daisy nods. You know my dad wants to marry me off to Preston. That guy's a total playboy. New girlfriend every 3 days. I can't stand the sight of him. I want to follow your lead. Find someone, quietly register, and then my dad won't pressure me anymore. I think he'd be a good fit. Vivian suddenly feels her heart skip a beat, her throat going dry. Come on, Vivian. You wouldn't happen to be reluctant, would you? Seeing her silent, Daisy continues. You already have Damien. Damien and I, Vivian wants to explain something but on reflection decides not to. Daisy, you're not suited for him. Why? Isn't it just a contract marriage? I'm not actually going to fall for him, just use him as a shield. What's so unsuitable about that? Daisy is confused. Vivian pauses a few seconds. He's sick. Late-stage lung cancer, he might not live past 2 months. Daisy shrieks, her eyes wide. How could that be? So you two really aren't suited. Besides, your dad has met him. Even if he weren't sick, your dad wouldn't believe it if you brought him home. Daisy is stunned. My gentle, sunny smile keeps surfacing in her mind. Ever since the day she met me, I have always been like this, warm as a spring breeze. She didn't think much of me before, barely ever gave me a kind look, didn't even bother to speak with me much. But no matter how rude her attitude from beginning to end, I always greeted her with a smile and respectfully called her Ms. Daisy. Whether out of pity or something else, at this moment her chest feels tight, and even the exquisite breakfast on the table becomes tasteless. In an ordinary ward at Yorkfield Central Hospital, I'm massaging Grandpa Hayes' body. Long-term bed rest has severely weakened his muscles. The caregiver hired every few days doesn't have much strength, so I come over every 2 days to give him a massage. After the massage, Grandpa Hayes falls into a peaceful sleep. I take the kettle and head to the hot water room. At the corner, 2 familiar figures approach. Vivian, thank you for taking time to come to the hospital with me. Don't mention it. Are you feeling better after the intravenous drip? Much better. By the way, it's already noon. Let me treat you to lunch. You can't refuse again, otherwise I'd feel terrible for taking up your whole morning. My steps pause. The 2 of them happen to look up in my direction. Our eyes meet in the middle. Vivian is a little surprised to see me, and Damien's lips curl into an amused arc. I don't say hello either, just nod lightly to Vivian, and continue toward the hot water room. Vivian thinks for a moment, then catches up. Miss Sterling, can I help you? I ask gently. Are you feeling better? Thank you for your concern, a little better. Vivian nods. If you need money, call me. I bow to thank her. Move back. What? I pause briefly. Move back in. Conditions out there can't compare to the villa. I'm not lacking that few $100,000. You don't need to sulk over this. I'm silent for a moment. Why does she think I'm sulking with her? Honestly, I really don't understand what's going on in this woman's head. Her boyfriend is already back, yet she keeps insisting I stay at her villa. What is this even? After more than 10 seconds of silence, I finally speak. Miss Sterling, there's really no need for me to move back. After all, it would cause unnecessary trouble between you and your boyfriend. I know you mean well, but I should know my boundaries. Thank you still for your kindness. He's not my— Vivian! What are you two talking about? Damien walks over with a smile. Vivian's words get swallowed back down. Mr. Ethan, Vivian and I still need to go out for lunch, so I won't chat much longer. Damien wears a faint smile. After all, Vivian pushed aside her heavy workload to keep me company at the hospital for 4S all morning. I should at least show some appreciation. Hey, Mr. Ethan, are you free? Want to join us? No, I won't bother you. I have things to do anyway. I step around them and walk forward. Vivian watches my back, feeling unsettled. Let's go, Vivian. I happen to know a great restaurant. Let's try it. Sorry, Damien. Something urgent came up at the company. Next time. Vivian declines. All right then, you go handle it. We have plenty of time later. Damien shrugs casually. Next time I'll treat you. Vivian doesn't say more, turns, and leaves the hospital. The moment she turns, Damien's sunny, handsome face darkens instantly, his cold eyes shooting a glance in the direction I left. Hello, Dr. Jensen. In the hospital office, I meet Dr. Jensen again. Have a seat, young man. Dr. Jensen has a head of gray hair and a kind manner. Dr. Jensen, did something happen to my grandfather? I ask nervously. Don't worry yet. Just listen to what Dr. Jensen has to say. Stella, sitting beside me, comforts. Young man, the other day I saw you weren't in good spirits, so I didn't tell you the truth. I thought about it after I got back, and as a patient's family, you have the right to know. This shouldn't be hidden, Dr. Jensen says, placing a diagnosis report in front of me. Your grandfather's condition isn't good. He's a long-time smoker, and his lungs aren't in good shape. The fire 3 years ago, where he inhaled large amounts of smoke, made his lungs worse. He has now developed late-stage lung cancer. A conservative estimate gives him about 2 months. I feel like I've been struck by lightning. How is this possible? Dr. Jensen, when Grandpa Hayes was hospitalized before, we did full-body checkups and found no signs of cancer. Stella's face goes pale. Was your main focus before on the burn treatment? Dr. Jensen asks. Stella nods. She's a burn unit doctor and isn't very skilled in internal medicine. No wonder. Mr. Hayes has been hospitalized for a long time. You probably only did a full checkup when he was first admitted, and the rest of the time focused on burns. Dr. Jensen continues. Some lung lesions are too small to detect with instruments at the beginning. This illness develops slowly over these 3 years without prevention. Stella's face turns white. She's Grandpa Hayes' attending physician. Letting such a serious illness develop, she can't escape the blame. She doesn't know how to face me. Dr. Stella. Although I'm devastated, I still notice her distress. This isn't your fault. You're a burn unit doctor only responsible for the burns. It's my fault. Grandpa Hayes always coughed back at the orphanage. I ignored it, thinking it was nothing. I'm the one who hurt him. Stella's eyes turn red. She knows how heartbroken I am, but she didn't expect that at this moment, I'm still taking care of her feelings. Dr. Jensen feels moved as well. He had actually planned to keep this from me for now. Vivian is the major shareholder of Yorkfield Central Hospital where he works. In other words, he's just an employee under her. He had planned to gather lung specialists to study the case, see if treatment was possible. If it worked, a major achievement like this might even get him promoted to deputy director. Unfortunately, after 3 days of discussion, the final conclusion was still beyond saving. That's why he came today specifically to tell me the truth, so I could prepare myself. Looking at me now, this young man really is a good person. Handsome, polite, devoted, and humble. No wonder a privileged woman like Vivian would favor me. While this illness can't be cured, extending his time a bit is still possible. It depends on what you choose. I immediately ask, Dr. Jensen, if we can extend his life, of course that's best. Dr. Jensen nods. But it requires a significant cost. A good targeted therapy drug came out of other countries recently, but the price is quite high. 200,000 per dose. For your grandfather's condition, he'd need at least 2 to 3 doses per month, and if he develops drug resistance, that rate will increase. Without hesitation, I answer, I'll find the money. Past 6 in the evening, I walk out of the hospital in a daze, my mind full of memories with Grandpa Hayes over the years. He picked me up from a garbage pile. Later I heard from Granny Holloway at the orphanage that I was covered in mud and burning with fever back then. Without Grandpa Hayes, I might have already died in that garbage pile, hauled off as trash and burned. As a child, my favorite thing was curling up in Grandpa Hayes' arms listening to his stories, learning life lessons from him. He'd hide from the other children to slip me some pocket money, remember my birthday, give me the gift I wanted most, and scold me sternly when my grades weren't good. He is the only family I have in this world, my only emotional anchor. In my previous life, I was also raised by a grandfather, and now with 2 souls merged into one, I feel the pain of losing family more deeply than anyone. As I walk, tears spill down my face. Ring, ring. A call comes in. I pick up my phone and glance at the screen. A trace of weariness crosses my face. Hello? What hello? Can't even call me mom anymore? I really raised you for nothing all those years. A sharp, bitter female voice comes through. This is my former adoptive mother, Fiona. She raised me from age 5 to 10. In the early years, the couple treated me decently, like their own son. But when I was 8, Fiona, who had been declared infertile, unexpectedly got pregnant. 10 months later, she gave birth to a chubby baby boy. The couple was overjoyed. But that was the day my nightmare began. With their own son, they couldn't stand the sight of me. Before I was even 9, I took on all the housework, and any displeasure meant a beating. A year later, they sent me back to the orphanage. That should have been the end of it. But 3 years ago, they somehow heard I had married a female boss, and started showing up every few days, screaming I was an ungrateful brat, that I'd gotten rich and forgotten to repay their upbringing. When they couldn't find me, they made scenes at the orphanage, turning the whole place upside down. I couldn't take it. Thinking they did raise me for a few years, and were good to me in the early years, I gave them 200,000 all at once. After getting that money, the couple was quiet for a while, but within half a year, they started the same scheme again, saying the upbringing money was nowhere near enough. After learning I was acting, they even threatened to call reporters to expose me. Afraid of damaging Vivian's reputation, I gave in time and again over these 3 years, only to be met with the couple's escalating greed. I don't even need to think about it. Fiona calling is definitely to demand money again. I rub my temples with a headache, thick weariness flickering in my eyes. Are you deaf? Your younger brother is about to take the college entrance exam, and he'll definitely get into a good university. There isn't a single penny at home right now. Wire me 200,000 immediately for your brother's tuition. Fiona speaks in a commanding tone. I sigh. Fiona, I really don't have money. Bullshit, don't think I don't know. That CEO woman you married is worth billions. You can't even cough up 200,000? Are you even human? If I hadn't adopted you back then, you would have starved to death. Fiona snarls. I already told you, she and I are only contractually married. I'm just an employee under her. Do you really think a woman of her status would fall for an orphan like me? I continue wearily. And my contract with her is almost over. I really have no money right now. Grandpa Hayes is seriously ill, and we still need a lot of money to save him. Fiona, I'm begging you. I've given you at least $1 million over the years. You built a villa, bought a luxury car. Please leave me alone. The moment Fiona hears this, she shrieks at the top of her lungs. You brat, don't even think about lying to me. I know rich women in the city love finding boy toys. That CEO definitely keeps you because of your looks. Telling me you have no money? Like hell I'd believe you. Want me to let you off? Fine. Wire me 10 million in one payment, and I promise I'll never bother you again. 10 million. I'm stunned hearing this. She really has the nerve. That CEO is worth billions. What's 10 million to her? I'm warning you, without 10 million, forget about it. I'll cling to you forever. If you don't let our family live well, you won't live well either. Fiona sneers. Do whatever you want. I directly hang up the phone. No matter how many times Fiona calls back like she's possessed, I ignore her. I know a woman like Fiona is ruthless. Before, I worried it would affect Vivian, so I kept giving in. But now Grandpa Hayes needs money to save his life, and my contract with Vivian is ending. I refuse to keep giving in. Right now, I just want to make money fast to extend Grandpa Hayes' life as much as possible. Then I walk into the Aces bar. The blows today have made me more frustrated than ever, and right now I just want a drink to take the edge off. The Aces bar is a large lounge bar with heavy traffic. When I used to be a resident singer here, it was basically packed every night. That's because the owner runs the place well. Hey Ethan, what brings you here? The moment I walk into the bar, a pretty woman in her 30s lights up and walks over. Rose. I break into a smile. This woman is Rose, the manager of the bar. She took good care of me back when I worked here. I'm here as a customer today. And here I thought you came specially to see me. Got my hopes up for nothing. Rose rolls her eyes at me, and I scratch my head awkwardly. You ungrateful little thing. Got yourself a wealthy woman and now you look down on us poor friends? 3 years and not a single visit. Rose's voice carries a hint of resentment. I don't know what to say and quickly change the subject. Rose, is Lena still singing here? You have the nerve to bring up Lena? She liked you so much back then and you ran off with that rich woman without even saying goodbye. Do you have any idea how hurt she was? Rose says helplessly. She left less than a month after you did. But we've kept in touch over the years. 2 years ago she joined a singing competition and made the top 10. She signed with an agency now. Things aren't blazing, but she gets ad work, which is way better than singing at a bar. Really? That's wonderful. Becoming a singer was always her dream. I can't help feeling happy for my good friend. Rose pauses, then asks, how about you? How are things with that rich woman? I don't feel like saying much. It's whatever. Rose, you've got lots of customers. I won't keep you from work. I'll find a spot over there. I point to a corner and walk over. After sitting down, I order 2 bottles of wine and drink alone. Rose comes over for a glass with me at one point. Just as a warm buzz settles in, a surprised voice suddenly comes from beside me. What are you doing here? Stella? I turn around, stunned to see her. I'm used to seeing her in a white coat looking dignified and serious, but tonight she's in a fitted black bodycon dress that shows off her stunning figure. I notice many men around fixing burning gazes on her. Bad mood. Came for a drink. Didn't expect to run into you here. Stella sits down across from me, ordering a bottle of red wine from the server. I know why she's in a bad mood, and comfort her. Stella, Grandpa's situation really isn't your fault. Please don't feel guilty. If you do, I'll feel terrible. What about you? You came to drink because you're upset about Grandpa. Stella looks up at me. She remembers I once told her I hate drinking, especially the feeling of being drunk. Back when I was a resident singer here, I had to drink with some big tipping customers, often ending up drunk. I hated that feeling. For me to come here alone today doing the very thing I hate, my mood must be at rock bottom. By now I've had quite a bit, my head fuzzy, my face flushed red. Hearing her words, I let out a self-mocking laugh. Stella, I just feel like I've been such a failure as a person. Stella pauses. I tilt my head back and take a sip of wine, my eyes hazy. I told you, Grandpa picked me up from a garbage pile. Without him, there's no me. I was actually pretty mischievous as a kid and my grades weren't great. A child like me, especially one in an orphanage, would usually be given up on, but Grandpa never gave up on me. Later, when he found out I had some musical talent, he supported me studying music. You know, studying arts isn't something an average family's kid can afford, let alone an orphan. But from beginning to end, Grandpa supported my dream. To gather tuition at his age, he went to work at construction sites. One time he even fell from a building. As I speak, tears spill down uncontrollably. But I'm useless. Watching him suffer like this, watching his life come to an end, and I can't help him. Stella's heart is deeply moved. Seeing me in tears, she aches for me. Grandpa won't blame you. Don't blame yourself like this. You've already done so much. And didn't you say I'm your only friend? As a friend, I'll definitely help you. Stella, thank you, I say sincerely. You've already helped me so much these 3 years. I don't know how to repay you. Stella smiles gently. Silly. You took a knife from me that day and saved my life. Isn't that enough? Besides, caring for patients is part of my duty as a doctor. I can't hold my alcohol well. After finishing the bottle, my head feels like it's exploding, and I collapse on the table, unable to get up. Stella struggles to help me into the car and calls a designated driver to take me to Yorkfield Estates. She doesn't know yet that I moved out of the villa area. She has dropped me off here a few times before, so she remembers the location, but she doesn't have Vivian's number, so she has to use my phone to call her. Hello? A cool voice comes through the receiver. Is this Miss Sterling? Ethan is drunk. Please come to the gate to pick him up. Who are you? Hearing a woman's voice on the other end, Vivian demands. I'm his friend. Vivian falls silent for a few seconds. More than 10 minutes later, Vivian walks to the gate in casual clothes. When she sees Stella standing at the car door, she's stunned. This woman is too beautiful. In looks, she matches Vivian, and she also has a graceful air that Vivian lacks, like a refined young lady from the South. When did Ethan have such a beautiful female friend? Vivian feels uncomfortable. She steps forward. Why did you take him drinking? Don't you know his health is bad? Stella pauses. Vivian's arrogant tone makes her uncomfortable. Does she talk to Ethan with this same condescending attitude? At that thought, Stella's eyes turn angry. Ethan is such a good, gentle man. What right does she have to treat him like this? Miss Sterling, I know your family is wealthy, but I don't know you, and I don't owe you anything. I hope you'll watch your tone. Stella shoots back. Vivian pauses, knowing her tone was a bit harsh. She usually doesn't treat people this way. She was only worried about Ethan's health today. He only has 2 months left. And this woman took him drinking and got him completely wasted. That's why she was so angry. Give him to me. I'll take him home. Stella raises a brow. Ms. Sterling, as Ethan's friend, I think I have the right to say a few words. Yes, he has no money and no status and is nothing compared to your Sterling family. But he's kind. He deserves to be treasured and cared for. I hope you can be a little kinder to him. If you don't know how to treasure him, plenty of people out there would. She doesn't know how Vivian and I usually interact, but she can guess this woman isn't good to me. Otherwise, a woman worth billions wouldn't have a husband going to a bar to drink over a bit of treatment money. What's between me and him doesn't need outsiders interfering. But thank you for bringing him back. Vivian gives her a deep look, helps me out of the car and walks me, with my hazy drunken eyes, toward the villa. Back at the house, she lays me on the bed and catches her breath for a long while before slowly calming. She stares at me, carefully studying this man she has lived with for years. Drunk, I am unusually quiet. No noise, no drunken talk, as if in deep sleep. By appearance, this man is truly perfect. Vivian has seen many handsome men, but I would rank in her top 3. Vivian quietly watches for a while, then turns her complex gaze away. She goes to the bathroom, brings back a towel and wipes my face. Then she pulls the covers over me. Still asleep, I have no idea Vivian is doing all this. Going into the study, Vivian dials Dr. Jensen's number. Miss Sterling, what can I do for you? How is Ethan's condition? Not optimistic. He came by today, and the problem keeps getting worse. I've discussed this with some colleagues over the past few days. The best option now is to purchase the targeted therapy drug from other countries, Dr. Jensen says. 200,000 per dose. About 3 doses a month. This amount is nothing to Vivian. She doesn't care about the cost. She asks, with this drug, how much longer can he live? This drug works well, but drug resistance is strong. It's most effective in the first 2 months, then doses need to gradually increase until it stops working completely, Dr. Jensen says. Based on my estimate, with this drug he can hold on for at most half a year. Vivian pauses a moment. Money isn't an issue. If you can keep him going longer, I'll remember this favor. Don't worry, Miss Sterling. I'll do my best. After hanging up, Vivian rubs her temples wearily, and can't help walking into the room to watch me a while longer. A few minutes later, she makes another call. Go to the hotel, room 308, pack everything up and bring it to my villa. Less than an hour after the call, Tessa brings back the luggage I left at the hotel. She asks, puzzled, Miss Sterling, since he left on his own, isn't that the best outcome for you and Damien? Why? Vivian hasn't told anyone about Ethan's illness for now and doesn't want it to become public. I gave him $5 million. Before the contract ends, he doesn't go anywhere. Hearing this, Tessa is even more confused. $5 million. Vivian spends millions on a single shopping trip. Would she really care about $5 million? Tessa stares at Vivian strangely. Miss Sterling, you wouldn't happen to— Enough! You can go back now. Vivian cuts her off before she can finish. Tessa pauses, hesitating for a moment, then says, Vivian, you and Damien have finally come together after all this time. You've waited so many years for him. Now that he's back, if you keep entangling with Ethan, Damien won't be happy. Vivian shoots her a glare. You're talking more and more lately. Do I need you to tell me what to do? Go back. After Tessa leaves, Vivian stands in the living room in a daze for a while. She loves reading Western literature, and especially admires the idea of a platonic soulmate. In college, Damien pursued her intensely. At the time, Damien was a campus heartthrob, handsome from a wealthy family, talented and adored by girls. Vivian also liked him somewhat. Unable to resist his persistent pursuit, she agreed, but she made him agree to no physical contact, only spiritual connection. If one day she truly believed they were right for each other, she would give him everything. At first, Damien agreed readily, but after graduating, he could no longer stand a relationship where he could look but not touch. He gave her an ultimatum, either go to a hotel together or break up. After Damien left in anger to study abroad, Vivian reflected on whether she had gone too far. After all, in today's society, where do you find someone who dates for over a year and doesn't even let her boyfriend touch her? The more she thought, the more she felt she owed Damien. She had planned that when Damien returned, if they still loved each other, she would give him everything. But the day Damien came back, the moment she saw him at the airport, even though his face was more handsome than before, more refined, she didn't feel the joy she had imagined. Vivian has a cool nature, and during that year of dating Damien, they spent little time together. Most of the time Damien was away filming, so she's actually slow when it comes to romance. Even now, she doesn't really know what she feels for Damien. Maybe a bit of affection, or maybe just the old obsession and a sense of guilt toward him. She's lost in thought when she suddenly hears noise coming from my room. She pauses briefly, then walks in to find that I have actually sat up dazedly on the bed. You're awake? Miss Sterling, what are you doing here? I ask, slurring. Vivian says, this is my villa. If I'm not here, where would I be? How did I end up here? Sorry, Miss Sterling, I'll leave right away. I sway as I stand up, preparing to leave. Sit down. Vivian's brows knit. In the middle of the night, where do you think you're going? Your things have already been brought back, the hotel room is checked out, and from now on, you'll live here. You brought my luggage back? I stare at her blankly. I said our contract isn't over. You're not going anywhere. At least this month you stay here and stay obediently. Vivian's tone is firm. If you dare move out again without a word, you just try me. My head is spinning. Looking at this stunningly beautiful woman fueled by alcohol, anger surges in me. What right do you have to do this? Vivian pauses, as if shocked that I, usually obedient as a kitten, would dare lose my temper at her. Isn't I spent 5 million on you enough? Vivian, don't push me too far. I have dignity too. What right do you have to humiliate me like this? What right? I shout. I already said I'd return your 140,000. What more do you want? Do I really have to stay here to satisfy your little hobby? Vivian is confused. What hobby? I want to leave, you won't let me, you insist I stay. Isn't it just so I have to stay here and watch you and Damien flaunt your love? Yes, I took your 5 million, but you can't use that 5 million to humiliate me like this. I don't have that creepy hobby of spying on other people. Why do you insist on torturing me here? Have mercy, let me go. I don't want to be a third wheel. As I say this, a wave of dizziness hits me. I stagger and fall onto the bed, falling fast asleep again, mumbling something like, I don't want to be a third wheel. Vivian stands frozen for a long while, looking at my dazed state, and suddenly can't hold it in. She bursts into laughter, and in that moment the whole room lights up. The next morning I rub my aching head and sit up, looking at this familiar yet strange environment. I freeze for a second. Then it hits me. I think I said some things last night I shouldn't have. I slap my head in frustration. Ethan, I told you not to drink, but you had to. Now how am I going to clean this up? I have this cringe so hard I want to die feeling. The words are out. How do I face her now? After sitting on the bed in a daze for a while, I freshen up in the bathroom and walk into the living room. The moment I get there, I freeze. In the kitchen, Vivian is bustling around in silk pajamas. The soft silk clings to her curves, unable to hide her graceful figure. I rub my eyes, wondering if I'm still hungover and seeing things. After all these years with Vivian, I have never seen her enter the kitchen, and I took that as natural. A wealthy heiress, a billion-dollar female CEO, who has never lifted a finger in her life, who normally handles deals worth tens of millions or even hundreds of millions. Just letting her touch the kitchen felt like a crime to me. So all the kitchen work has been mine alone for years. I never let Vivian touch a drop of grease. Now suddenly seeing her cooking in the kitchen, apparently making soup, nearly drops my jaw. For a moment I wonder if someone put a spell on her. But to be fair, Vivian cooking seriously doesn't look as icy as usual. Her features look soft, a slight smile at the corner of her mouth. Her whole body seems to radiate gentle, graceful light. Truly, a focused woman is the most beautiful. Vivian seems to hear the noise outside. She turns and sees me standing there like a complete idiot, eyes wide staring at her. She's a bit startled, the corner of her mouth lifting. You're awake? I am. My face dims with a bit of embarrassment. You're making soup? Almost done, just a moment. I subconsciously nod, but my feet feel glued to the spot, unable to leave or move. Finally, I scratch my head and ask, need any help? No, almost ready. All right, I'll set the table. Soon I'm sitting at the table drinking bird's nest soup, Vivian served personally. A flicker of daze crosses my face. The soup tastes ordinary, which is normal. Vivian is clearly a beginner, and this pot was probably made following an online tutorial. The taste isn't anything special, but I still drink it with gusto. Soup personally made by a stunning CEO isn't something anyone gets to taste. With that status attached, this bowl of soup seems much tastier. While drinking, I can't help sneaking a glance at the bright-eyed Vivian across from me, thinking that since I already let everything out last night, I might as well lay things out clearly. Miss Sterling, I'll move out after breakfast. Vivian doesn't even lift her head. She only took one sip of the bird's nest soup before putting it down, probably finding it bad. Now she's holding her phone, reading financial news. Seeing she doesn't respond, I continue. I've put a deposit on a place with an agency near the film studios. I should hear back in a day or two. At this, Vivian suddenly lifts her head and coldly says, have I treated you badly in these 3 years? I quickly say, Miss Sterling, I'm grateful for your care. Not only did you give me 5 million, I've also lived well here. You never asked me for a single cent for living expenses, and you even gave me gifts on my birthday. I remember it all. If so, why do you insist on leaving? Vivian's eyes grow colder. I open my mouth, looking at her in surprise. Why am I in such a rush to leave? You should know best. It's to keep from getting in the way of you and your first love. Without alcohol giving me courage, I don't dare say these words directly. For a moment, I have no idea how to respond. Is it because of Damien? Vivian asks bluntly. I'm speechless. You already know, so why ask? Miss Sterling, I've thought it through. I look up at her seriously, with sincere eyes. Your secretary Tessa told me the reason you signed this contract with me was to spite your boyfriend. Now that he's back, this contract no longer needs to exist. If I stay, it might even cause misunderstandings for your boyfriend. So me leaving now is best for everyone. Don't you think? Of course I won't take advantage of you. The 140,000 for the remaining month, I'll pay you back as soon as I can. Vivian's brows knit tightly together, and she doesn't speak for a long time. I let out a breath of relief. She must have taken it in. Looks like this can be settled smoothly today. From now on, we go our separate ways, owing nothing to each other. Maybe this is a good thing for everyone. I tactfully stand up and leave, wash the dishes in the kitchen, and casually head to my room to grab my things. Just as I'm about to leave, Vivian's cold voice comes from behind me. You just try walking out. I'm a businesswoman. Since I gave you the money, you have to fulfill your duty. Before the time is up, you go nowhere. Don't bring up that 140,000 again. I don't need the money. You stay right here until the contract ends. You dare leave, you just try me. My body stiffens. I stare blankly as she grabs her bag, slams the door, and leaves. My face turns bitter. I want to ask her, do you need to see a doctor? A perverted habit this serious is a disease too, forcing me to stay just for that thrill. I feel drained of all strength. I slump on the sofa, catch my breath for a long while, and finally sigh helplessly. Forget it. At most, it's just one more month. Grit my teeth and it'll pass. Since I've decided to stay, I won't agonize over moving anymore. The priority now is to find a way to make money. Grandpa Hayes needs 3 doses of targeted therapy drug per month, which costs 600,000. That's an astronomical figure to me. I wonder how Lily is doing on her end. I'm about to call Lily to check, but before I can, Lily's call comes in first. Ethan, come to Yorkfield Plaza now. Big opportunity. Okay, I'll be right there. I perk up, quickly fix my appearance, put on a more business-style outfit and head out, grabbing a cab to Yorkfield Plaza. Lily. The moment I get out of the cab, I see Lily, elegantly dressed, waiting at the entrance. She quickly walks over. I'll cut to the chase. You know the tale of Hannah, right? I nod. This drama is a major production with an investment of over $200 million and a luxurious cast. The female lead is Coralie, the actress with the strongest viewership pull. Several veteran actors have joined as well, and the national TV network has long secured the broadcasting rights. Word has been spreading that the drama is in full casting mode. A nobody like me wouldn't even dare dream of a production this big. If a drama this scale isn't too bad, even a slightly standout supporting role can give an actor a popularity boost. All the big agencies are pulling out all the stops to get their artists in. I'm not signed to any agency, just listed under Skyline Entertainment with very limited resources. I don't even have the standing to compete. The third male lead was originally given to Wesley from Rockstone Entertainment, but Wesley had bad luck. 2 days ago he had a sudden appendicitis attack and he's still in the hospital. Lily smiles brightly. I talked my throat dry to get this from Rockstone Entertainment, but it's only an audition. Whether you get it depends on you. I'm pleasantly surprised. Third male lead. With my track record, I wouldn't even get a shot at auditioning. Lily has done so much already. Lily, I'll do my best. Lily looks at my handsome face and smiles. Of course I believe in you. Too bad time is tight. The audition is soon. Read the script first. My audition is set for 2:30 in the afternoon. I have just over 5 hours, so I don't waste a second. The moment I get the script, I dive into it hungrily. What are you doing here? Just as I'm fully absorbed in the character, a surprised voice suddenly comes to my ears. I jerk my head up and meet Damien's gaze, full of shock and anger. A wave of disgust rises from nowhere. I don't respond, just lower my head, eyes fixed on the script. You're here to audition? Seeing the script in my hand, Damien's brows furrow, as if he can't understand how a small-time actor like me has the right to audition. Mr. Damien, what I'm doing here doesn't seem to concern you. Hearing his arrogant, condescending tone, I feel deeply uncomfortable. Damien sneers. You talk one way to people's faces and another behind their backs. Calling you a troublemaker is being generous. That day at the coffee shop, do you remember what you said? You promised to move out, and just days later you're clinging on like glue again. Have you no shame? Hearing this, my first reaction isn't anger, but irritation. Damien knew so fast that I moved back. It must have been Vivian who told him. I can't figure out what this woman wants. On one hand, she forces me to stay with her hard stance, and on the other, she stirs up trouble with her first love. What does she want? For the first time, resentment toward Vivian rises in my heart. Even though I'm her employee and took her money, that doesn't mean she can trample on my dignity so freely. Mr. Damien, did you come to the wrong person? I say flatly. Do you think I could move back without Vivian's permission? Seeing Damien's stunned expression, I continue. Instead of giving me trouble here, you should talk to Vivian. The moment she agrees, I'll move out immediately. Damien's face darkens. You'd better recognize what you are. Garbage from an orphanage trying to lay hands on a wealthy heiress. Don't you find yourself naive and laughable? Vivian taking you in was pity, sympathy. You don't actually think she has any real feelings for you, do you? I'm warning you, get as far away as you can. If you dare cling to Vivian, I'll make sure you can't survive in Yorkfield. At this, he suddenly puts on a mocking smile. You want to audition for this drama? Do you know who invested in it? Vivian is the largest investor, and the only reason she invested was because I wanted to play the male lead. I don't care how you got the chance to audition, but with my single call to Vivian, even if you ace the audition, it's useless. You believe me? Without waiting for my response, Damien struts away with his arrogant air. I sit there frozen for a long time, my mind a mess. Who's Ethan? Come in for the audition. A female assistant walks into the waiting room. I snap out of my daze. Even though I know what Damien said is true, one word from him and Vivian will most likely kick me off the production. I still hold on to a sliver of hope. What if? I desperately need money right now. This drama matters too much to me. Even with a 1 in 10,000 chance, I want to try. I follow the assistant into the room. Seeing the 3 judges sitting in front, my heart tightens with nerves. The bearded man in the center is Director Hudson, a famous director in television, with multiple hit shows under his belt, and the director of The Tale of Hannah. On his left is a woman of about 27 or 28, in an elegant dress, regal and dignified, with a stunning, breathtaking beauty. She's the famous A-list TV star Coralie. On the right sits the renowned veteran actor Master Tanner, with many beloved classic works, a true titan of the industry. Hello, Director Hudson. Master Tanner, Miss Coralie. I bow slightly and greet them. Ethan, right? Please sit. Master Tanner kindly speaks first. I'd like to hear your analysis of the character. I nod, sitting upright. I think Yorin is actually a very complex character. His personality isn't static. It mainly divides into 3 stages, early, middle, and late. I speak fluently for over 10 minutes, then stop at the right moment. Masters, this is my understanding of the character. Coralie's eyes brighten, her gaze openly carrying appreciation. It seems you have clearly studied the character in depth. The third male lead has many scenes with her, so she takes the role seriously and came in person for today's audition. More than a dozen actors auditioned before me, including several well-known male stars in the industry, but none of them understood Yorin as deeply as me. Thank you, Miss Coralie. I feel a little guilty. I just have a good memory, and with years of studying characters, I can quickly grasp a character's personality from complex plots. Ethan, what truly matters for an actor is acting skill. Your research is good, but the final decision depends on your acting. Coralie smiles. Next, I'll personally do a scene with you. The Eastern Palace abduction scene, you remember it? Let's do that one. How about it? I quickly reply. Of course. This scene is very representative. The third male lead, Yorin, is an Imperial Guard general who falls in love at first sight with the female lead, a transmigrated palace maid, loving her with everything he has. To save her, he disobeys the Emperor's orders, mobilizes the Imperial Guards, storms the Duke's mansion, and beats the Duke's spoiled young heir half to death. There are many scenes like this. In short, this is the ultimate simp character, willing to throw everything away for the female lead. But it is the tale of Hannah after all. No matter how much he simps, he can't overcome the plot. In the end, the female lead chooses the Crown Prince. And the Eastern Palace abduction scene is Yorin's ultimate emotional breaking point after years of pursuing her. It's a key highlight and quite difficult to perform brilliantly. In the room, Coralie and I stand facing each other. Hannah, tell me, did the Crown Prince force you? You love me. How can you marry him? I roar with intense emotion, the muscles in my face twitching, grief and despair bursting from my eyes in an instant. Director Hudson and Master Tanner subconsciously sit up straighter. This kid has talent. The emotion feels natural, just right, with barely any acting marks. The lines are full of emotion, clearly enunciated, with a magnetic quality that's very captivating. Coralie is also stunned, but quickly recovers. I'm sorry, Brother Yorin. I didn't know. I've always seen you as a brother. Brother? No, I don't want to be your brother. My expression turns frantic, full of helplessness. I impulsively grab Coralie's hand. Hannah, I love you. For you, I'd throw away everything. I know. The Crown Prince must have threatened you. I'll take you away, far, far away, to a place where no one knows us. At this, my eyes fill with pleading, my body trembling slightly. Brother Yorin, you're hurting me. The Crown Prince didn't threaten me. Marrying him is my own choice. Brother Yorin, I'm grateful for your love, but I truly only see you as a brother. The only one I love is the Crown Prince. I know this hurts you, but I don't want you to keep going down the wrong path. Ha ha ha, brother. So all this time I've only been a brother in your eyes. Hearing this, I plunge into madness. My eyes instantly flood with tears, my eyes filling with thick bloodshot veins. Director Hudson and Master Tanner watch me holding their breath, infected by my emotion. Soon applause fills the room. Well done. Perfectly acted. Coralie quietly wipes away a tear and smiles at me. Ethan, you were amazing. I almost couldn't keep up. Have you really never had a big role before? Mostly just small roles in web dramas, I answer honestly. Director Hudson nods approvingly. Ethan, you have real acting talent. That scene had natural emotional shifts, no pretense, no exaggeration, and the emotion was full. The crying part was especially brilliant. Master Tanner also smiles. Young man, keep at it. Young actors these days are too restless. They only chase money and don't polish their craft. Just relying on a face only lets their ride on youth. I see real promise in you. Keep polishing your craft and you'll definitely have a place in this industry. I'm flattered. Thank you all for the encouragement. Ethan, go home and prepare. Barring anything unexpected, this role is yours. Director Hudson rarely makes a final call at the audition stage because too many connections are involved in casting, but my acting just now completely won him over. Top-tier looks, first-class acting, solid line delivery skill. The reason a uniquely gifted young actor like me hasn't broken out yet is just missing someone to push from behind. He doesn't mind being that backer. Given my humble personality, when I become a big star one day, I'll remember the favor. Thank you, Director Hudson. And thank you, Master Tanner and Miss Coralie. I show appropriate excitement. Stepping out of the room, I can no longer hold back my joy. I pump my fist hard. Landing this role, the paycheck alone is $3 million. If this role makes me a little famous, I'll never have to worry about getting work again. So this role is crucial for me right now, not just for earning the money to treat Grandpa Hayes, but for my entire acting career. Ethan, just as I'm about to share the good news with Lily, a familiar voice comes from behind. Oh, Ms. Coralie. Turning to see her, I'm stunned. Coralie smiles. Let's add each other on WhatsApp. There's still time before official shooting. When you're free, we can chat more, work on making the role even better. My mind goes blank. An A-list star like Coralie is actually asking to add my contact. I'm beyond flattered. I quickly pull out my phone and add her on WhatsApp. Miss Coralie, please give me your guidance from here on. Coralie looks at my handsome face. Don't call me Miss Coralie. I'm not much older than you, and being called that makes me sound old. Just call me Coralie. I have something to handle. We'll chat on WhatsApp. Take care, Miss Coralie. Still Miss Coralie? My face flushes. Coralie. Now that's better. Coralie giggles and walks gracefully away. Then I find Lily in the waiting room. Director Hudson made the call. He's giving me the role. Hearing this news, Lily asks in shock and delight, "He really said that?" "Yes, he did." "Amazing, Ethan. I knew you could do it." Lily excitedly hugs me. "Landing this role, you'll definitely get famous, and I'll get to ride your wave too." Lily. My face flushes red, a bit at a loss. Lily realizes she got too carried away and quickly lets go. Seeing my face red to the ears, she laughs. "A married man and still this shy. Come on, to celebrate you landing the role, I'm treating you to dinner." Lily picks a Western restaurant in the city center, quite upscale. After ordering, Lily says, "This drama starts shooting early next month. You have half a month to prepare. With your acting, you'll definitely be fine, but you still shouldn't slack off. Polish your skills as much as you can. I made plans with Coralie. We're going to discuss acting." "What Coralie?" "Coralie. I mean Ms. Coralie." Lily's eyes go wide like she's seen a ghost. "You call her Coralie, and made plans to talk acting together? That's Coralie we're talking about. She looks friendly, but she's actually hard to approach." All her years in the industry, Lily has heard plenty of rumors about Coralie. They say she comes from a wealthy family, has a fiery temper, and once publicly slapped several directors and investors who tried the casting couch. In dramas, she plays leading ladies, and in real life, she's just as much a queen. A woman from such a powerful background with such a strong presence actually wants to discuss the script with Ethan, a newcomer. Is something wrong with that? I look up, confused. No. Lily looks at my face with a complex expression, thinking inside, Coralie, you act like you have no interest in any man, but turns out you're just as ordinary." Halfway through dinner, two people suddenly walk in at the entrance, heading toward us. The moment this man and woman come in, they immediately draw everyone's attention. It's Vivian and her first love, Damien. "Vivian, let's take the window seat over there." Damien smiles at Vivian beside him. Since coming back, he has invited her out alone many times, but Vivian has always made excuses and refused to dine with him one-on-one. Still, Damien knows Vivian warms up slowly. After so many years apart, there's bound to be a bit of distance. He believes pursuing her as passionately as he did in college will eventually win this icy beauty over. So he isn't in a hurry. These past days, he sends a bouquet of flowers to her every morning and evening, regular breakfast delivered, and constant caring messages on WhatsApp. This afternoon, he tentatively invited her to dinner, and to his surprise, she actually agreed. Even now, Damien is excited, as if he sees hope of winning her over. The seat Damien picks happens to be right in front of Lily and me. Once seated, Vivian has her back to me, while Damien faces me directly. Our eyes meet and both of us pause briefly, then Damien breaks into a wicked smile. "Vivian, thank you so much for that drama. You know, I'm just the illegitimate son of the Vance family, with no real standing at home. The Vance family resources never flow my way. If you hadn't invested in this drama, I'd have had little chance of landing the male lead. It's nothing. Helping you is one thing, but our market division also found this drama worth investing in. Vivian, do you remember our college days? You told me back then you'd make me a top-tier superstar." Damien's eyes fill with deep affection. "If you hadn't used your family's resources to back me, I wouldn't be where I am today. 3 years ago, I lost my mind and left you. Tessa told me you were heartbroken for a long time. The truth is, I missed you terribly these years, deeply regretted my impulse, and I never expected you'd still help me now. Vivian, you're too good to me." Vivian pauses a few seconds. "Don't sell yourself short. Your achievements come from your own effort, too. I don't want to listen to them pour their hearts out, but the seats are too close. I can't avoid hearing every word. A wave of restless anxiety runs through me. I think to myself, so Vivian can speak so gently after all. But this gentleness only Damien has the privilege of enjoying. With me, Vivian has always been arrogant and condescending. Maybe that's the difference between an employee and a lover. Listening to them chat warmly, my eyes turn hollow, and the fragrant steak tastes like sawdust. By the way, Vivian, that thing I asked you about, how's it going? Damien asks. He's just a newcomer. I don't think he can handle the responsibility of third male lead. You invested in this drama for me. You can't let a piece of trash like that ruin the show. I've already spoken with Director Hudson. Vivian's tone softens. Hearing this, my eyes go blank, my whole body trembling slightly. Ethan, what's wrong? Lily notices something is off. I look panicked and stand up. Lily, I'm not feeling well. Let's leave here. Yes, sure, let's go now. Lily, startled by my devastated appearance, stands up to take me out. Ethan, are you dining here too? Right then, Damien pretends to just notice me and suddenly calls out. The moment he says it, Vivian immediately turns around and sees Lily and me standing up to leave. Her gaze lingers on my face for a few seconds, then shifts to Lily's face. Lily is past 30, but her natural looks are excellent, and being skilled with makeup, she looks graceful and elegant under her refined makeup, gentle and lovely, enough to draw most men's attention. In the year plus that I've worked with Lily, although she has dropped me off at the Villa Gate many times, she has never met Vivian. I never mentioned Vivian in front of her, so Lily doesn't know who Vivian is. Right now, Lily just feels strange, faintly sensing that this woman's gaze toward her carries a hint of hostility. I don't look at Vivian's scrutinizing gaze, don't answer, just turn to leave, as if this place is a deadly trap. I always thought I knew Vivian well, always believed she was a kind woman. But suddenly this woman feels so foreign it scares me, so heartless it scares me. This role was my chance to turn things around. My way to raise money for Grandpa Hayes' targeted therapy drugs, and now it's stripped away by one word from her, just to please her first love. I never maliciously judge anyone. Even when my adoptive mother Fiona treated me so badly, I never hated her. I'd remember the good side of her. But in my hour of greatest need, the woman I'm most grateful to ruthlessly cut down my hope. Ethan, stop, Vivian says coldly. I freeze for a moment, then stop, slowly turn around, face her, my eyes bloodshot. My nails dig into my palms, trying not to let myself lose composure, but inside I'm thinking, what right do I have to blame her? The drama was her investment. She's free to swap out whoever she wants. She owes me nothing. Damien is her real boyfriend. To please her boyfriend, she takes my role away. Isn't that normal? Vivian meets my bloodshot eyes, momentarily losing herself. For all the time she has known me, the Ethan in her memory has always been warm and gentle, with a warm smile always on his lips. Whenever she sees him, a whole day's worries seem to vanish. Though she doesn't always want to admit it, she enjoys their time alone together. She works in the study, he bustles in the kitchen, or cleans the house, humming pleasant melodies. Even without seeing him face to face, just feeling his presence in the house, his quiet warmth, gives her peace of mind. In all their years together, she has never seen such a near-despair look in his eyes, carrying a heartbreaking, shattered feeling. Her heart trembles slightly, and her tone softens. Ethan, Damien and I are discussing some work matters. Come sit with us. The reason she agreed to dinner with Damien today is mainly because Damien has been sending flowers and breakfasts every day, causing her major trouble. Many people at the company know she's married, and Damien's relentless pursuit has stirred up plenty of bad rumors at work. She wanted to use this chance to have a proper talk with Damien, not expecting to run into me here. Normally, with her proud and cool nature, she would never bother explaining. But seeing my devastated state, Vivian uncharacteristically offers an explanation. No thank you, Miss Sterling. We've already finished eating. Nothing else. I'll head out now. Right after saying that, I practically flee the scene. Outside the restaurant, I'm like a fish out of water, mouth wide open, gasping for air, sorrow pouring uncontrollably from my desolate eyes. Ethan, what's going on? Do you know that woman? Lily catches up, looking at me with concern. Lily, I'm sorry. I feel I've let her down. I know how much Lily has poured into me over the years, how many worries she has carried for my career. There were several good opportunities before, but they required filming out of province for long stretches. Having signed the contract with Vivian, I always put her first, to do right by that 5 million, and with Grandpa Hayes to look after, I painfully gave up those opportunities. But Lily has always respected my decisions, never complaining. Landing the Yorin role this time I wanted to share with Lily right away, because it would not only launch my career, but also lift Lily's career. In the end, I disappointed her. Deep guilt churns inside me. Why are you saying sorry to me out of nowhere? Lily is confused. The role might be gone. Lily's eyes go wide instantly. Why? I don't want to hide it from her anymore. The woman just now is my wife. She's very wealthy, and one of the investors of the Tale of Hannah. She's your wife? Lily is shocked. I laugh at myself. Do you think I'm worthy of her? The truth is, we're just in a fake marriage. The contract has 1 month left, then it ends. Lily is stunned, never imagining things would be this way. You should have recognized the man with her, Damien. He's her boyfriend. Now you know why Damien dislikes me. I smile bitterly. She invested in this drama mainly for Damien so he could play the male lead. With Damien hating me this much, why would he let me play the third male lead? You heard them just now. They've already decided to take the role from me. It's a lot to process. Lily takes a long time to come back to her senses, then comes endless rage. They're bullying you too much. Forget it, I sigh. It's her investment. She has the right to use whatever actor she wants. But you've been her husband for all these years, even if it's fake. She shouldn't be this cold-hearted. That woman looks pretty. Who knew her heart was so cruel? The more Lily thinks about it, the angrier she gets. She wants to march back and curse Vivian out, but I hold her back. Lily, don't be rash. How can I not be? Lily is fired up. You finally got a chance, and they just deny all your effort with one word? What gives them the right? My eyes go vacant, and I shake my head gently. No matter what, she helped me back then. Without Vivian's 5 million, Grandpa Hayes wouldn't be alive today, and the orphanage might have been shut down long ago. I'll always remember this great kindness. Lily looks up at my lost eyes, aching for me. You're just too kind, always thinking of others. If the chance is gone, it's gone. I'll find you another one. I don't believe they can control everything. With your acting and talent, someone will see your worth. Just as we leave the restaurant, Vivian and Damien come out. Before the food even arrived, Vivian lost her appetite and quickly came downstairs, just in time to catch a glimpse of my departing figure. Damien glances at her dazed eyes, jealousy flashing in his own. He smiles. Didn't expect Ethan to quietly find himself a girlfriend. She's pretty, but seems a few years older than him. Heh, maybe knowing the contract with you is ending, he seamlessly found another woman. Never would have guessed. He looks so innocent on the surface but plays around so freely behind the scenes. Vivian stays silent. A flicker of deep thought crosses her cold, sharp features. Damien, stop sending flowers to my office. Damien freezes. Ethan and I are still husband and wife. Many people at the company know this. Your big bouquets every day have already caused a lot of bad rumors, Vivian says. Damien says with difficulty. Vivian, you know my feelings for you. Since you've waited so many years, even finding Ethan as a substitute, now that I'm back, is there really any need to keep entangling with him? He really can't figure out what Vivian is thinking. On one hand, she acts deeply devoted, saving herself for him, even finding a substitute who resembles him a bit. She treasures every gift he sent, taking careful care of even a single clivia plant. But ever since he came back, she keeps her distance, lukewarm and detached. Vivian is silent for a few seconds. I told you back then, what I want is a platonic spiritual love. For years I thought you and I had that kind of connection. Maybe the obsession deep in my heart played tricks. I kept fantasizing and longing, idealizing you as much as I could. That's why I treasured all your gifts. I thought they were so romantic. When I heard you were coming back, I even thought about throwing everything away to run to you. At this point, under Damien's expectant gaze, she pauses briefly, then continues. But that day at the airport, I realized you fell far short of the ideal I had in mind. I felt no real anticipation, no real joy. Why is this happening? Hearing this, Damien clenches his fists, his eyes filled with frustration. Vivian shakes her head. I don't know either. The old feeling just isn't there anymore. Damien grits his teeth. Is it because of Ethan? Vivian freezes for a moment, says nothing. What does he have? No career, no background. He may be handsome, but I'm more handsome than him. In what way am I worse than him? Damien almost roars. Vivian looks up at him, a hint of pity in her eyes. You don't need to be like this. Vivian, I know I was wrong back then. I shouldn't have acted on impulse forcing you that way. Give me one more chance, please. I'll respect you. I'll never force you to do anything you don't want. Damien pleads. Vivian doesn't answer, just turns and walks toward the parking lot. Ethan, you damn bastard. Damien curses through gritted teeth. I'm not done with you. On the way home, I receive a call from Director Hudson. Yes, Director Hudson, I understand. It's fine. I know some things are out of your control. I don't blame you. I'd be honored to hear your guidance another time. On the phone, Director Hudson sincerely apologizes, says he thinks highly of me. This time it's due to forces beyond his control. There was simply no way to make it work. For his next drama, if there's a suitable role, he'll invite me to audition. Though I already guessed the role was lost, hearing the actual call still leaves me with a sense of loss. This was a real opportunity, but things didn't go my way. So now I need to find another way to earn the money for Grandpa Hayes' targeted therapy drugs fast. Folks, this is the famous estates in Yorkfield. Just as I reach the gate, a bleached blonde guy walks toward me, followed by a whole team. Looks like he's live streaming. They say a single villa here goes for over $100 million minimum, and the front row units, the most prestigious ones, go for over $1 billion. Folks, today I'm going to take you inside to see for yourselves. Watching this scene, I suddenly remember the original owner of this body was a content creator on a platform too. His account name was Riding the Wind, verified as an independent musician. I pull out my phone and check. There are dozens of videos, only 3 originals, most are covers. The original owner's personality was similar to mine, a bit shy, so none of the videos showed his face. With his karaoke-level singing skill, the videos didn't get many likes. The most popular one only got around 70 or 80,000. Should I record an original piece of music and post it? The idea suddenly hits me. At my current level, finding another opportunity like the Tale of Hannah would be extremely hard. Earning enough for the targeted therapy drugs through acting isn't realistic. Maybe being a music influencer would be a good way to make money. After all, in my previous life, I worked at a record label, systematically trained, skilled in lyrics, composition, and arrangement. My mind holds a huge library of works from my previous life. If I can bring them to this world, maybe I can even break out. Once the idea takes hold, it spreads like wild vines through my mind. Back home, I immediately grab pen and paper. In under 10 minutes, a complete melody and lyrics are perfectly reproduced. At the same time, I download software on my computer and start arranging. I work until 5 in the afternoon. A complete song finally takes shape. Without professional audio recording equipment, the video quality isn't ideal, but with these conditions, I can't ask for more. I log on to the copyright registration site and register the copyright first. Then I write a caption and upload the video to the platform. After stretching, I check the time and see it's almost 6. I quickly head to the kitchen to cook, but just as I finish cooking, the door opens. Vivian is back. You're home. Let's eat. My gentle voice greets her. She looks up at me as if checking my mood, and only nods after seeing I'm normal. She goes to the bedroom. After a while, she comes out in pajamas, her hair down from its sharp updo to a relaxed, loose fall. Dinner is quiet, as always. After eating, I go wash the dishes, and just as I'm about to head back to my room, Vivian calls out to me. Ethan, let's talk. I pause briefly, secret joy rising inside. Could it be about ending the contract? That would be great. To say I have no resentment toward Vivian over today, that would be impossible. That role meant too much to me. But I also considered, she put real money into the drama. Who she uses is her business. Besides, Damien is her real boyfriend. She loves him so much. Sweeping me out the door for him isn't wrong. And without that $5 million life-saving money back then, Grandpa Hayes wouldn't be alive today. That's a debt of saving a life. Even with regret and dissatisfaction, Vivian's coldness toward me isn't really a crime. What right do I have to blame her? Miss Sterling, I know what you're going to say. It's about ending the contract, right? I beat her to it. All right, I agree. Can you spare some time tomorrow morning? Let's go to the marriage registry and file the divorce. Hearing this, Vivian is shocked. She didn't bring me over for this. She never thought of ending the contract early. She just noticed how tired I looked at dinner and was worried about my health, planning to ask how I was, never expecting I would bring up divorce. Her face darkens instantly. Ethan, there's no need for this. When we signed the contract, we agreed it was only a working relationship. That marriage certificate was just so you wouldn't get the wrong ideas. Do you understand? I freeze. Over the years, I've heard similar words from Tessa many times, and Damien has said the same to me, but it's the first time these words have come from Vivian's own mouth. In that moment, my heart suddenly tightens, but the feeling fades quickly, until everything is clear. Vivian regrets her words the moment they leave her mouth. She doesn't know why she said them. She just felt like I might be jealous of Damien, which annoyed her, and subconsciously she wanted to crush such thoughts to spare us trouble. Don't worry, Miss Sterling, I know my place, I know my position. I'd never have any improper thoughts. After the contract ends, I'll stay far away from you and Mr. Damien. I'll never cause any trouble for you both. Rest assured. Hearing this, Vivian gets even more annoyed, says, do as you wish, and walks into the study. My gaze follows her, and when I pull it back, it's full of self-mockery. I had been thinking of getting out of this villa quickly, if only for my own dignity. Leaving on my own and being kicked out are two different things. But since Vivian insists I stay, I'll see out this last month, enduring whatever humiliation comes. After all, I took her $5 million life-saving money. The next morning I get a call from Lily. Ethan, something big happened. Her tone is urgent. My heart sinks. Lily, what's wrong? Someone in the industry has issued a blacklist order to ban you. My face goes white instantly. The first person I think of is Vivian. The Sterling family is an old money dynasty in Yorkfield, with assets approaching hundreds of billions and far-reaching connections. Only they could do this. I thought she only kicked me off the tail of Hannah. I didn't expect she would go this far, even destroying my livelihood. My breathing turns rapid, my face flushed, my thumbs digging into my palms. Rage and despair make me dizzy. With low blood sugar and an empty stomach this morning, I lose my breath, my head spins, and I collapse. The loud thud startles Vivian in the master bedroom. Her face changes drastically, and she rushes to help me up. I push her hand away and force myself up off the floor, my face pale. I'll take you to the hospital. She reaches for her bag. Vivian, am I a joke to you? I shout. Vivian freezes, looking at me in confusion. My eyes are full of fury and bitterness. Vivian has never seen me like this. In her memory, I'm always gentle and refined, never losing my temper in front of her for all these years, always respectfully calling her by title. Sometimes she could even see admiration and gratitude in my eyes. But now I'm calling her by name, and those eyes full of humiliation feel utterly foreign to her. She has no idea what she did to make me this angry. From today on, I owe you nothing. Vivian, Ethan, owe you nothing anymore. My eyes are bloodshot, misted with tears. This moment is both despair and pain. I may have no love for her in my heart, but years together had me seeing her as a friend. Now I learn the cruelty of this world. I saw her as a friend, but she didn't hesitate to destroy my livelihood. With those words, I don't hesitate. I slam the door and leave. Vivian stands frozen in place, then sits on the sofa with knit brows. She isn't angry, just trying to figure out what happened. What pushed such an honest man to this state? All these years, she hasn't paid attention to my affairs. She doesn't know who my friends are. Beyond knowing I'm a small-time actor, she knows nothing else, and she wouldn't know where to start looking. Finally, she walks into my bedroom. Ever since I moved in, she has never entered out of propriety. Last time she found me secretly playing the piano she planned to give Damien. She only stood at the door and scolded a few words. The room is kept extremely clean. The bedding is neatly folded, everything organized, giving off a fresh feeling. Walking in, you can smell something pleasant, a faint masculine scent. Vivian's gaze first settles on the piano. Back then, Damien said he liked this piano. At the time, Vivian was swamped with a project and didn't buy it for him in time. Later, when Damien left in anger to study abroad, Vivian, to make up for the guilt she felt, bought this piano, planning to give it to Damien when he returned. That's why she cherished it so much. That day she rarely came home from work early and saw me sitting at the piano playing. She was furious. This piano was her atonement, her guilt toward Damien. She wanted to see Damien play the first note on this expensive piano and feel his joy. But now this piano was touched by someone else, which made her feel it had been tainted. At that time, she scolded me with unprecedented harshness. I still remember how anxious I was, apologizing nonstop, promising never to touch it again. After that, I never touched the piano again. This piano became like a nightmare to me. The whole room is spotless, only the piano has a thin layer of dust. Her scolding made me afraid to touch it ever again. Vivian's gaze drifts for a moment. Did she go too far? She knew I loved music. Many times she heard me practicing vocals from this room. I just enjoyed it. What harm would it have done to let me play? It wouldn't damage anything. Besides, her fantasies and passion for Damien gradually faded after that first meeting at the airport. That's why she has never brought up giving the piano to Damien. Her eyes shift uncertainly. Vivian slowly turns her gaze away, settling on the desk. Seeing a script lying there, Vivian is curious. She wants to know what drama I'm working on. She happens to own a film company. If possible, maybe she can quietly send me some resources. She opens the script and freezes. The Tale of Hannah. It's actually this drama. She remembers this one clearly. Her own film company is the lead investor. 2 days ago, Damien came to her saying he was excited about this drama, wanting to play the male lead. Vivian didn't agree right away. She called the project manager and the director to discuss. Damien's acting is ordinary. Better than those who just stare and count numbers, but not by much. But his looks fit the male lead well, and combined with his popularity, after some discussion they decided to cast him as the male lead. She never expected I'd also be involved in this drama. Yorin is the third male lead in this drama. Seeing me mark Yorin's scenes in red pen, her expression turns shocked, and suddenly she remembers yesterday afternoon. Why was Ethan so devastated? Last time when she and Damien talked about removing me from the cast, I was sitting right next to them, so I must have heard every word and thought she deliberately took the role away, which is why I looked so desperate. Her hands tremble slightly. She thinks of my hysterical state earlier, and her heart aches. She had no idea about this. She didn't know the Yorin role had been given to me. This morning, Damien called her, telling her angrily that some young actor pulled strings and grabbed the important third male lead role. This young actor had no acting skill, no fame, just someone who got in through connections. With him in the cast, the drama would surely flop. Vivian normally hates this kind of connection-based casting most, and she invested $100 million in this drama. She wants it to make money. How could she allow a single bad apple to ruin the whole show? But she isn't one to take sides blindly. She called the project department, confirmed it, and then had them contact director Hudson. But she never expected the so-called connection person Damien mentioned was me. Vivian's face slowly darkens. She knows exactly who I am. Besides her, a wife on paper, what other connections do I have? All these years, I have never asked her for anything, and even if I had connections, with my personality, I'd never pull strings to get in through the back door. Realizing Damien had deceived her, disappointment rises in Vivian's heart. She has always held hope for Damien, hoping he would build a career in entertainment, move her family, get them to accept him. If he could move her heart again, she might give him another chance. But now Damien is using such dirty tactics to crush a non-existent rival, borrowing her hand to fire me, which makes her feel insulted. If she hadn't accidentally seen Ethan's script today, she might have been kept in the dark about this whole thing. Right after, Vivian calls Director Hudson. "Miss Sterling, please don't take offense," Director Hudson suddenly says. Vivian comes back to her senses. "What did you say? I don't know how Ethan offended you, but firing him is one thing. Blacklisting him isn't necessary. He's a good seedling. It would be a shame to ruin him." Not long ago, Director Hudson received a call from Lily asking if he knew who was blacklisting me in the industry. He immediately thought of Vivian. After all, a nobody like me hasn't offended anyone. Other big families wouldn't do this. Only Vivian, who just kicked me off the production, had the motive and the means. Director Hudson truly admires me, and couldn't help speaking up for me. Vivian's voice turns sharp. She asks gravely, "What did you just say? Ethan has been blacklisted? Who issued the order?" Her nature is cool. She rarely shows emotion. Even in the cutthroat business world, she rarely shows excess emotion. But right now she loses her composure, shooting up from her seat. Director Hudson is surprised and quickly explains. "Sorry, Miss Sterling, I may have misread the situation. After all, the only one with both the means and motive is you." Vivian understands his meaning. Blacklisting someone in the entertainment industry is hard. It requires strong capital and connections, and the Sterling family has exactly that. Combined with her kicking me off the production yesterday, Director Hudson naturally made that guess. Vivian pauses, her voice cold and firm. "This wasn't me, but I'll get to the bottom of it. Has the Yorin role been cast?" Director Hudson answers. "Yes, it's settled. We chose Dustin from your company. The contract was signed yesterday afternoon." Vivian responds with a soft sound, then hangs up. She holds her phone, standing frozen for a long time before slowly snapping out of it. She drives to the office. At the office, Secretary Tessa notices Vivian arrived late today and brings her a cup of hot tea. "Miss Sterling, why are you so late today?" Vivian doesn't like coffee. She only likes tea, especially tea from the South. She's usually highly disciplined, a workaholic, rarely lingering outside work hours. Being this late to the office is rare. Vivian gives an order. "Have Stanley from Greenstone Pictures come over?" Tessa nods in confirmation. Less than half an hour later, a middle-aged man in gold-rimmed glasses walks in, greeting her with a fawning smile. "Miss Sterling, you wanted to see me?" Vivian narrows her eyes and looks him up and down for a moment, then coldly asks, "Stanley, the company has treated you well over the years, hasn't it?" Stanley's forehead breaks into sweat. He answers nervously, "Miss Sterling, I always remember your kindness. Did something happen?" Vivian lifts her eyes and looks at him coldly. "The actor for the Yorin role, you personally investigated, didn't you?" Stanley is alarmed. "Didn't Damien say Vivian wouldn't look into it?" "Who told you to do this?" Vivian's voice gets colder. Stanley looks miserable. This time he's truly been ruined by Damien. Because of his work, he often crosses paths with Damien. He also knows Damien is close to Vivian, so when Damien asked him for this favor, he agreed without hesitation. He never imagined a big figure like Vivian would question him over this. "Miss Sterling, this isn't my fault. Mr. Damien came to me, said it was your arrangement." Stanley quickly shifts all the blame onto Damien. Go to finance and collect this month's salary. You don't need to come to work tomorrow, Vivian says coldly. Hearing this, Stanley's face goes pale. Inside, he curses Damien 1,000 times over. It's all because of that damned man making him lose his job. Vivian waves her hand, indicating he can leave. Then she sits dejectedly in her chair, staring blankly at a delicate motorcycle model in front of her. Back in college, she loved these motorcycles that boys liked. She thought they were so cool, so striking. Especially when she was in a bad mood, riding around on one would make all her worries vanish. After Damien learned this, he paid a high price to custom order this motorcycle model from abroad, and assembled it piece by piece as a gift for her. The actual value of this gift is hardly worth mentioning, but the sentiment was priceless. Vivian has always treasured it, kept it in the most prominent spot on her desk, as her companion through countless days and nights. But seeing this model now, her heart fills with an indescribable bitterness. The kind, sunny, shining man in her heart has turned into a sinister person who uses tricks to crush others, which she can't accept. The enormous contrast even gives her heart a momentary jolt. She picks up her phone wanting to call Damien, but quickly puts it down. A few minutes later, she picks it up again and puts it down again. After repeating this who knows how many times, Vivian finally dials the number. Vivian! Damien's delighted voice comes through. Do you have time? Yes, of course. Even if I'm busy, I'd make time for you. Are you at the office? I'll come to you. Vivian's expression stiffens. After a long pause, she says, Maple Cafe, I'll wait for you there. Okay, I'll be right there. On the other side, I bring my purchases home. A professional audio interface, a studio-grade microphone, and a guitar. All in all over $10,000, nearly draining my entire savings. A good craftsman needs the right tools. Yesterday's rough recording left me very unsatisfied, so today I just emptied my savings for a brand new set of equipment. This setup isn't exactly high-end, just enough to get by, but the quality of what it produces will definitely be a few levels higher than yesterday. I wonder how yesterday's video turned out. After arranging the equipment, I sit on the edge of the bed, open the platform with a bit of curiosity. Maple Cafe. Vivian, this is the first time since I came back that you've asked to meet me. Damien holds a bouquet of blue roses, smiling tenderly, like a prince stepping out of a dream. These are your favorite blue roses for you. Vivian's eyes lower slightly. After a moment of hesitation, she takes the flowers, places them on the sofa behind her, and says thank you. Vivian, I remember you love tea most, and your favorite place is the tea house. Why did you invite me to a cafe today? Damien takes a seat across from her, softly smiling. Do you remember our first date? Vivian asks. Damien freezes. That was 4 or 5 years ago. How could he remember? Vivian glances at him. It was at a cafe off campus. Oh, right, I remember now. Damien feels especially excited. Vivian suddenly invited him today, even reminiscing about the past, bringing up their first date. Could it be she's finally let go and wants to get back together? Sir, ma'am, your coffee. A server brings 2 cups over. Americano, my favorite. Vivian, I can't believe you still remember my taste. Seeing the coffee, Damien is delighted. Vivian lowers her head, slowly adds half sweet, picks up a spoon and stirs gently. Just this simple scene makes her look like a fairy on the clouds, beautiful but out of reach. Thinking he once had such a woman, Damien feels a natural surge of pride. After this cup of coffee, don't contact me again, Vivian suddenly says. Damien's pupils dilate, as if hearing something unbelievable. Why? In that instant, his voice cracks. Vivian says coldly, I don't like people who lie to me. When did I ever lie to you? Damien's voice is dry. Vivian stares into his eyes, her gaze growing more and more disappointed. Even now, he's still lying. What did you do? Think about it yourself. I'm leaving. Vivian has always been direct and decisive. She doesn't want to argue endlessly over this. There are many customers in the cafe, and she doesn't want to be a spectacle for everyone to watch. Is it because of Ethan? Damien stands up, almost gritting his teeth. Yes, I did it, but because of who? You know I like you, I love you, and you've been waiting for me all these years, but why after I came back did your attitude change? That Ethan is just a freeloading nobody, just a stand-in you found. As your boyfriend, I don't want to see you so close to him, what's wrong with that, but you? You know I dislike him, you know I hate him, yet you keep him at home. What am I supposed to think? I just can't stand him strutting around in front of me, wanting to get rid of him, is that wrong? I did nothing wrong. It's your attitude that keeps wavering, giving me hope and taking away. These words have been pent up for a long time. Damien ignores the many shocked looks in the cafe, determined to release all his frustration. Vivian, I want you to choose now. Do you want me or him? You're truly hopeless. Vivian turns to leave. I'm hopeless. I like you, I pursued you. What did I do wrong? It's that Ethan not knowing his place, refusing to let go. He's a nobody. What right does he have? Even if you accept him, have you thought about your family? Would your parents, your grandparents accept him? Facing Damien's relentless, questioning, Vivian, with her back to him, says word by word. Enough, Damien. I did give you hope, but that was for the kind and sunny Damien I expected, not for this petty, vicious one. I thought you were a man with ambition, one who would carve out a place in the entertainment world. That way, even if my family objected, you'd have what it takes for me to defend you. But what did you do? Your fame did rise, but you got complacent, content to be just a traffic star. You don't improve your acting, you don't practice singing, and now you're jealous of a small-time actor, even putting a blacklist on him. Vivian's expression grows colder. Tell me, what right do you have to expect me to love you? Besides, Ethan and I are only in a contract relationship, basically roommates. There's nothing between us, so what are you jealous of? He's diligently taking care of me all these years, never asking for anything. You want to be my boyfriend but won't repay kindness, fine. But to destroy his career? How can you be so vicious? Damien's face turns ashen. As Vivian turns to leave, Damien finally panics. Vivian, I was wrong. At the time, I did these things out of fear of losing you. It's all because I love you too much. Give me one more chance. I can apologize to Ethan, lift the blacklist on him. Vivian stops, furrows her brow, and asks, with your abilities, how could you do this? Damien opens his mouth but doesn't know what to say. Vivian gives a cold laugh. It was Caleb, wasn't it? Damien is startled. Caleb is Vivian's younger brother and they're very close. When Vivian married Ethan back then, Caleb was so angry he wanted to beat Ethan up, but Vivian sternly warned him off. What Vivian doesn't know is that over the years, Caleb has secretly tripped Ethan up many times, tormenting him at work and humiliating him many times. Stop following me and don't approach Caleb again, Vivian says coldly, with finality. Vivian, have you forgotten? You promised me 3 chances. Damien suddenly cries out. This makes Vivian abruptly remember her senior year in college when she had a motorcycle accident on a mountain road. Stranded and helpless, her phone broken, it was Damien who came in the middle of the night with help to rescue her. In that moment she was deeply grateful and promised that no matter what mistakes Damien might make in the future, she would give him 3 chances. Now Damien declares with deep emotion, Vivian, I swear I'll change. I truly love you. Give me one more chance, just one. Vivian turns to look at him, and after a long while she gently nods. I keep my word. 3 chances, not 1 less. But you've already used 2. Leaving without a word 3 years ago was the first. Today is the second. Damien is overjoyed. Vivian, exhausted, says, I have other things to do. You go first. She remembers that night, the despair of being alone and helpless in the mountains, how Damien gave her a glimmer of life. Because of that life-saving debt, she hasn't fully repaid him. But Ethan's gentle kindness, his care of every detail in her life over the years, makes her unable to burn that bridge. Vivian returns to her office and finds Tessa eating a work lunch while listening to music. Vivian, you're back? Weren't you on a date with Damien? Why so soon? Tessa asks with her mouth full. Just had a coffee. Vivian walks straight toward her office, then suddenly turns back. What's that song you were just listening to? At this question, Tessa lights up. This is an original by a creator called Riding the Wind on the platform. It's called Fortunecast, so good, Tessa says excitedly. Posted just yesterday, and it's almost at 100,000 likes today. Lots of people commented saying it's amazing, just the audio quality is poor. Vivian opens the platform, finds this creator named Riding the Wind. The caption reads, I'd trade 3 lifetimes to redeem the fate of yours. The caption is simple but makes people want to click. The video uses live humming, with bells coming in, giving the song an ancient reverent flavor. Wind blows over sand and flowers fold an everlasting tale, moon and water, lost in the mirror's flowers. Vivian usually enjoys music too. The arrangement and creativity of this song, including the composition, leave her no particular impression, just standard fare. But the melody is truly catchy, easy to grasp, able to be hummed roughly after a few listens. This is the basic foundation of a hit song. After only 2 listens, Vivian knows this song will definitely go viral. Vivian, do you think this creator's voice sounds familiar? Also, aren't the floor tiles in this video the same as yours? When Tessa points this out, Vivian looks closely. They really are identical, which surprises her. Those custom-made tiles actually appear in the video. Vivian is startled. She instinctively listens to the creator's voice again, and now she can confirm. This creator called Riding the Wind is Ethan. In this moment, Vivian is genuinely stunned by me. She knew I love music, even sang at a bar before, but she never knew I had such talent in music. From the song's lyrics, it seems I wrote the words, composed the melody, and did the arrangement myself. Sitting back at her desk, Vivian rarely puts her mind off work, but this time she opens the comments and reads them. So perfect, my ears just had an orgasm. The creator's voice is so gentle and magnetic, too bad he didn't show his face. This song tells the blind ones, don't fail those who treat you well. Some feelings, once lost, never return. Reading the comments, Vivian feels a bit dazed. Don't fail those who treat you well? She thinks of Damien, but then my image crosses her mind. Honestly speaking, in the year plus she spent with Damien, they didn't have many truly beautiful memories, except for that time Damien rescued her. Most of their dates were just movies, meals, and coffee. By now those memories have faded. Back then she was already gradually taking over management at the company, swamped with work, and Damien was also busy with his acting career. They rarely saw each other. In contrast, in these 3 years with me, though I never did anything romantic, never went shopping with her, never went out to eat, never watched a movie with her, all the things couples do, Vivian had always avoided. But I arranged every detail of her life perfectly, with the utmost care, quietly, like rain nourishing the earth. It's exactly this silent care that leaves the deepest mark on the heart. At this thought, Vivian can't help feeling somewhat absurd. She and I are only in an employer-employee relationship. Given the gap in our positions, there can never be anything between us. Why would she suddenly think of him? She quietly pushes this image out of her mind, closes her phone, and returns to work mode. But after a short while, she can't help opening her phone again, clicking that video, giving it a like, and following the account riding the wind. In the villa, I'm shocked to find the video has over 100,000 likes and over 200,000 followers, all because of a major influencer's reshare. Grateful, I follow them and send a thank you message. Seeing this massive overnight surge in followers, I realize this is an opportunity. I have to ride this momentum and release another song fast. After 8 in the evening, my new piece is finally done, better quality than before, but I don't rush. I plan to wait until the current buzz fades before releasing it. After stretching my stiff body, I walk to the kitchen to make medicinal porridge. In the office at the Sterling Group, Vivian pores over reports with a headache. The Sterling Group's main business is food and beverages. It's peak beverage sales season, but several flagship products have seen significant year-over-year declines. Vice President Rachel says helplessly, "Miss Sterling, the Jameson Group has come on strong this year. They hired top celebrities for endorsements, invested heavily in advertising, and rolled out one campaign after another. We must catch up quickly, or we'll lose significant market share." Vivian thinks for a moment, already forming a plan. After going over the plan with Rachel, Rachel nods. "I'll get on it right away." Then Tessa comes in. "Miss Sterling, Ethan brought you medicinal porridge. He's waiting in the lobby." Vivian pauses for a moment. Busy all day, she almost forgot about me. She thought, with the blacklist, I might have to swallow my pride and beg her forgiveness. She never expected I'd act as if nothing happened and still bring her porridge. Vivian's expression is complex. "Invite him up." Tessa is surprised but respects Vivian's request and brings me up. Honestly, I'm surprised too. All these years bringing porridge, Vivian has never let me enter her office. Vivian gets straight to the point. "The urine roll, Damien and the company's marketing manager deceived me. They didn't mention your name, just said it was a small-time actor with no acting skill who got the role through the back door. The blacklist wasn't me, it was Damien and Caleb. I'll give you an explanation. The urine roll can't be changed, but I'll help you get a more important role in another drama. The blacklist has been lifted." I'm shocked. So I had wronged her. Guilt fills my heart. "No need, Miss Sterling, this has nothing to do with you. The blacklist being lifted is enough. My agent will find me other roles, but thank you for your kindness." Vivian is somewhat surprised. "You've only played supporting roles in web dramas. This opportunity could put you straight into the male lead of a primetime drama. You don't want such an opportunity?" I lower my eyes and gently say, "Of course I want an important role, but this has nothing to do with you. You don't need to compensate me. I've already taken your kindness. My conscience wouldn't allow it." Vivian's eyes suddenly light up. She can't help seeing me in a new light. Inside, she's moved. Someone this kind-hearted actually exists. I let out a long sigh. "Drink the porridge while it's hot. If there's nothing else, I'll leave now." Vivian calls out, "I was just about to head back too. Let's go together." Though she usually sleeps at the company at this hour, today she decides to go home. I start the car and softly remind her, "Miss Sterling, you have a weak stomach. Drink the porridge on time every day." Vivian eats the porridge in small bites, her heart warming. Looking at my profile, she feels an unexplainable familiarity. She remembers our first meeting, under the neon lights of a bar, me playing the guitar. In what feels like a single moment, 3 years have passed. Vivian suddenly asks, "Do you have any wishes?" I pause briefly, looking at her gaze in the rearview mirror, her eyes clear. Her sincerity moves me. I say quietly, "I came from Hope Children's Welfare Home. The children there need a lot of help. I wish I had the means to buy them school supplies." Such a simple and kind wish brings a pang of sadness to Vivian's heart. The car pulls into the villa, and both of us silently go to our rooms. Back in her bedroom, Vivian makes a call. "Tomorrow morning, go buy school supplies. Budget 100,000. Also buy children's clothing for all ages, boys and girls. And toys. Also prepare 1 million yuan to transfer to Hope Children's Welfare Home's account." Early the next morning, Tessa walks up to Vivian. "Miss Sterling, everything is bought. With this much, are you visiting an orphanage today?" She's used to this. Over the years, Vivian has donated to dozens of Hope elementary schools, and often visits welfare homes and nursing homes for charity. Tessa has gone many times. "Anything important this morning?" Vivian asks while handling her work, not looking up. Tessa flips through her record book. "There's a product strategy meeting at 10. Move it to the afternoon." "Yes." Vivian quickly wraps up her work and after 9:30, takes Tessa to Hope Children's Welfare Home. Why is this place so remote? The car drives all the way out to the outskirts, almost out of the city, before they spot a brand new 3-story building in a desolate spot, with a small courtyard of less than 100 square meters in front. The iron gate is shut, with a sign reading Hope Children's Welfare Home hanging at the top. Tessa explains, "I checked. This welfare home was founded by an elderly couple, Basically a semi-private welfare home. Government support is minimal. The land belongs to the couple's own family. 3 years ago, a major fire broke out here. The flames were intense, and the entire welfare home burned down. The director suffered severe burns and is still receiving treatment in the hospital. 3 years ago. Vivian can't help thinking of me. Back then, the bar owner said I was desperate for money, working 3 jobs a day, working day and night. At the time, she didn't think much of it. In Yorkfield, people like me obsessed with making money are a dime a dozen. But connecting it with the orphanage fire 3 years ago, things weren't what she had imagined. Go knock on the door. Tessa nods, walks up, and knocks on the iron gate. Soon the gate opens a crack, revealing a dirty-faced boy about 11 or 12, who asks timidly, "Who are you looking for?" "I'm looking for Granny Holloway. Is she here?" Tessa asks with a smile. "Yes, I'll go get her." The boy wipes his nose and runs off barefoot. A few minutes later, the boy returns with a silver-haired old woman, her face deeply lined with age, followed by a group of curious boys and girls. "You must be Granny Holloway. Hello, we're from the Sterling Group. This is our boss, Ms. Vivian Sterling." Tessa steps forward and shakes hands. "We came to donate some supplies. We hope we're not disturbing you." Hearing it's a donation, Granny Holloway becomes very warm, quickly inviting them in. Tessa directs the staff to bring in the school supplies, clothes, and toys. "Miss Sterling, Tessa, we don't have good tea here. Please make do." Granny Holloway personally brews them tea. "Granny Holloway, you're too kind," Tessa says with a smile. "I heard you and your husband founded this welfare home together. Taking care of so many children must be hard." "It really is." Granny Holloway gives a kind smile. "These children have no parents. The hardest times are when they miss their parents. It's truly heartbreaking." Vivian picks up her tea and walks around the room. The room is filled with photos and trophies, and half a wall is covered with certificates. Vivian is amazed to find nearly half of them are mine. "Granny Holloway, is Ethan very accomplished? He won so many awards." Vivian asks in a daze. "Of course." At the mention of my name, Granny Holloway's face lights up, her eyes full of pride. "This child is the most outstanding I've ever met." Hearing this, Tessa walks over in surprise, unable to speak for a long while. Vivian and Tessa exchange a glance. Tessa asks curiously, "What exactly happened 3 years ago?" Granny Holloway lets out a heavy sigh. "An electrical short caused a fire. It consumed the entire orphanage. My husband, ignoring the danger, rescued the children one by one, but suffered extensive burns all over his body. When Ethan heard, he resolutely dropped out of Yorkfield Drama Academy and worked 3 jobs a day to raise money for Hayes' surgery." Granny Holloway sheds tears. "This child has loved acting since he was small. He often told me and Hayes he'd be a big star one day, but to treat Hayes he gave up his dream without hesitation." Vivian is deeply moved. She never knew I had been a student at the famous Yorkfield Drama Academy, that I dropped out and worked to treat my grandfather. What devotion and willpower that takes. Granny Holloway smiles again. Later he met a benefactor who lent him $500,000 to rebuild the welfare home, and covered his grandfather's treatment costs. All these years he's donated regularly every month. The children are doing well now, all thanks to his quiet dedication. Granny Holloway's words strike Vivian and Tessa's hearts like a hammer, stirring up huge waves inside them. They silently marvel that such a kind-hearted person has never shown them these past contributions. Granny Holloway's words strike Vivian and Tessa's hearts like a hammer, stirring up huge waves inside them. "Vivian, the benefactor she mentioned, could it be you?" Tessa's eyes widen. All this time she thought I was just someone living off others, never imagining I had worked so hard to rebuild the orphanage and treat Grandpa Hayes. Vivian looks dazed. She has lived with me for 3 years and knows I'm not greedy. She always kept living expenses for me in the living room drawer, most of which I used to buy ingredients for medicinal porridge. My monthly expenses were no more than $2,000 or $3,000. I never kept extra money for myself. She thought I worked so often because I was unhappy with the $5 million in savings. Now she understands I had always been short on money, the money all going into the orphanage and Grandpa Hayes. "Miss Sterling, you're Ethan's benefactor?" Granny Holloway picks up on Tessa's words and excitedly grips Vivian's hands. "Thank you so much. Without you, those children wouldn't know what to do, and my husband wouldn't have lived this long." Vivian quickly reassures her. "Granny Holloway, I helped him then because he had talent. All these years he's worked hard." Granny Holloway sighs. "Ethan has finally come through the hardship. He was abandoned by his parents as a child, abused by his foster family, but now he's met someone so kind." Granny Holloway finally feels at ease. "I also came knowing this. Given his outstanding performance, the board has decided to donate 1 million yuan to the orphanage. If you have any issues in the future, feel free to contact my secretary anytime," Vivian says. Tessa promptly hands over a card. Granny Holloway is deeply moved and wants to refuse. "How can this be? You've already helped so much." Vivian holds Granny Holloway's hands gently, her tone warm. "This is a token of care. The children's living conditions need improvement. No need to refuse." Granny Holloway is both grateful and moved. After lunch, Vivian and Tessa, at her insistence, finish their meal and drive away. Tessa marvels. I really didn't expect Ethan to be so loyal and devoted. I misjudged him, thought he was a freeloader. I never imagined. Vivian listens to Tessa's self-blame, her thoughts not stopping. My gentle smile surfaces in her mind, and a strange ache rises in her heart. He has cancer. A simple statement, but like a bolt from the blue. Tessa slams on the brakes. What? He's been diagnosed with late-stage lung cancer, maybe only a month left. Vivian sighs softly. The two fall silent. The car continues, leaving only their shared sorrow lingering in the air. Early in the morning, I eagerly open the platform. 500,000 likes? Seeing the like count on the Fortune cast video, I freeze. It blew up to this level overnight? Not only that, my follower count surged by 300,000 overnight, breaking 500,000. I quickly scan the comments. Came here from a recommendation. Really is amazing. OMG, I've had this on loop all day. Way better than the generic pop songs on the charts. Drop a new song already, I'm sick of this old one. I find a few influencer names, open their accounts, and sure enough, they've all been recommending me for free. The likes have skyrocketed because of this. I quickly send each of them a private message to thank them. I spend the whole day at home focused on creating new songs. During this time, Lily calls to say that even though the blacklist is lifted, the aftershocks remain. Many companies and directors still have concerns and won't easily cast me. If this were yesterday, I might have been anxious, but now my heart is still as water. The new song is doing brilliantly. If I keep going, the next one won't disappoint. On a short video platform, the quality of the work speaks for itself. Social politics barely matter. For someone like me with mild social anxiety, this is the ideal way to work. Lyrics, composition, arrangement, recording, all done in one sweep. By 6 in the evening, I'm satisfied with 2 new songs and let out a big stretch. Suddenly, the door opens, footsteps approach, and Vivian stands at the doorway. She's wearing a long floral dress, graceful and stunning, breathtakingly beautiful. Vivian has been restless all day, with a strange unease. After work, she rushed home anxiously, eager to see me. The moment she stepped inside, her mood became calm, as if I were the source of that tranquility. Standing at my doorway, she notices the new recording equipment. Her company is in the film industry, so she naturally knows what these are for. Scattered sheets on the desk are filled with lyrics and sheet music, and a guitar rests casually on the floor. Miss Sterling, you're home. Sorry, I'll tidy up right away. I'm slightly flustered because I know she has a mild cleanliness streak. Every day I work to keep the room tidy, but tonight's exhaustion made me slack a bit. Seeing me scramble to clean up, Vivian's gaze is complex, wordless. Miss Sterling, have you eaten? I'll go cook. After tidying up, I'm about to head to the kitchen. She suddenly says, Ethan, you don't need to be so formal with me. Her words make me pause. It feels like she's broken some pattern. I always thought my respect for her was perfectly normal. Today I went to Hope Welfare Home. Her words almost make me stumble. I only thought she'd donate some supplies, never imagined she'd go in person. You used the $5 million I gave you to rebuild the orphanage and treat your grandfather. She looks at me. I admit it openly. At the time it was urgent. That money saved the orphanage and saved my grandfather. I'm deeply grateful, Miss Sterling, truly, thank you. No matter when, I'll always do my best to repay you. Vivian's gaze grows complex. So all these years of meticulous care for me was just to repay the debt? I stay silent. That is my truth. Perhaps after learning my past at the orphanage, Vivian feels more sympathy and pity for me, but this makes my heart feel unbearably heavy. Though our statuses are worlds apart, I still hoped we could become friends. But reality is like cold water poured on a flame, making me clearly realize that in her heart, I'm nothing more than a housekeeper. Self-mockery rises within me. I can't even keep up the illusion anymore, and responds, yes? What did I hope to become? A friend to a billionaire CEO? Me, a nobody from the bottom? What could I offer her? The smell of cooking drifts from the kitchen. Vivian sits in the study, facing her computer screen, her thoughts in turmoil. Only the day Damien left 3 years ago did she feel this shaken. Today a single sentence from me has upset her. Her phone rings, a message from Tessa. Vivian, Riding the Wind has a new piece so amazing. Vivian instinctively finds my new video on the platform, posted just 10 minutes before she came home. The caption on the screen seems to strike her soul. I pray to the heavens, not for the next life, but just to meet you once more in this one. Similar to Fortune cast from before. Vivian's brow lifts slightly. She gently presses play. The song slowly comes through, the electric keyboard melody unfolding, a faint sorrow filling the air. As the intro ends, my voice surges like a wave. When the moonlight falls on my face, I almost change my form. The heart-wrenching emotion flows through the notes, as if a bone-deep obsession gives it boundless power. The melody is captivating, the emotion intense, striking the soul directly. Vivian's expression turns focused. At this moment, she realizes this song's appeal far exceeds the previous one. I enter the chorus, my voice growing more powerful, like an endless sorrow filling every corner of the study. Will we ever meet again? I prayed at the altar for thousands of years. The lyrics are vague yet striking. Vivian seems to see a man praying devoutly, kneeling stubbornly like stone, time passing relentlessly, seasons changing, yet time cannot shake his devotion, all for that tiny sliver of hope. Through my voice, I convey this deep love straight to the heart. Only now does Vivian realize my singing ability is extraordinary. Only true singers can move people's emotions through melody, not just chase flashy high notes. Vivian sighs softly. Will we ever meet again? I prayed to the heavens for thousands of years. When the lyrics reach "Let me kiss your face once more," Vivian's eyes well up slightly. Can a person's devotion really reach this depth? For the one he loves, he'd rather plead with heaven for 1,000 years, even crossing the bridge of the afterlife, all just to kiss his beloved's face one more time. This kind of love shakes the soul. As someone who longs for platonic love, this song stirs ripple after ripple in Vivian's heart, moving her deeply. Turning her head, Vivian can almost see through the wall to me bustling in the kitchen. Is this a reflection of his inner feelings? Does this mean he too longs for a love that cuts to the bone? I don't know. Vivian turns, playing my new song again and again. This time the production is clearly better than last. The equipment wasn't bought in vain. She purses her lips and opens the comments. Ethan's new song is fire. Oh my god, this song didn't disappoint. Total ear orgasm. Haha, Ethan is really bringing mysticism to a whole new level, prayer and fortune casting all in one. The poor depend on mysticism. For love, the rich depend on the power of cash. Reading these amusing comments, she can't help laughing out loud. These moments make Vivian think of me. Right, isn't this guy a typical poor man? Is he really using mysticism to long for love? Miss Sterling, dinner's ready. I interrupt her thoughts. Vivian instantly pulls herself together, walks out of the room with her usual composure. During dinner, I gently ask her, Miss Sterling, will you be back tomorrow? Why do you ask? I might be out all day, won't be back at night either. Vivian nods. I won't be back tomorrow either. She continues eating, her eyes lowering slightly. This used to happen sometimes. I'd always take time off when needed, but she never seemed to care, yet now she's starting to wonder what exactly I take time off for. After dinner, I quickly wash the dishes and mop the floor, then slip back to my room. Opening the platform, seeing the likes break 100,000, I'm so excited I almost scream out, having to carefully suppress my excitement. I pace around my room several times before finally calming down. Meanwhile, in the Coolidge Music Tower in the capital city, a storm erupts in the music division's conference room. Director Cheney slams a report on the table, displeased. He scolds. This month our performance has been completely crushed by Penguin Music. Down 15% month over month. What is the company paying you for? Deputy Director Whitney admits with a bitter smile. Penguin Music has been lucky lately. New talent popping up everywhere, taking over our market share. Meanwhile, we've made no breakthrough. Director Cheney's tapping on the desk is especially harsh. I don't want excuses. Find solutions. Each of you give me 3 suggestions at tomorrow's morning meeting. Dismissed. Just then, Assistant Tina rushes in excitedly. Director, there's an original singer who blew up on a short video platform. Are you serious? Everyone is startled, looking at her in shock. His username is Riding the Wind. Both of his recent songs have exploded, Tina says excitedly. This singer has been on our platform for 5 years, but mostly did covers, until recently when he started creating originals again. Everyone eagerly pulls out their phones, and the room fills with the melodies of Fortune Cast and 1,000 Years of Prayer. So good, far better than Penguin Music's new talent. The audio quality isn't great, sounds like home recording, equipment must be inadequate. But this doesn't dampen their excitement at all. Isn't this exactly the quality original singer they've been searching for? Like a blind spot under the lamp, they didn't notice this talent right under their noses. Whitney can't hide her excitement. The video was posted less than 3 hours ago and likes have already broken 100,000. This song is going to blow up. We need to sign him fast or other companies might snatch him. Director Cheney snaps awake. Whitney, you handle the signing. What kind of deal? Whitney asks. Coolidge Music classifies musicians into S, A, B, and C tiers. Newcomers usually sign at C tier. Only a few make a tier, and S tier is reserved for top superstars. Currently there are only 3 S contracts. After a moment of thought, Director Cheney decides, give him an A. This proposal stuns everyone. He has huge potential, Director Cheney explains. I reviewed his old works. His original The Stranger, vocals were average, but his 2 latest songs have improved drastically in both composition and singing. After 3 years of silence, he must have been refining his craft. Director Cheney is confident. This musician will create great works continuously in the future. Give him an A, and he'll bring the company returns far beyond the contract. Got it, I'll contact him right away. With that, Whitney decides to fly to my city in person to show sincerity. Early the next morning, just as I'm about to head out, I get a call from an unknown number. A gentle female voice comes through. Is this Mr. Ethan? Yes, who's calling? I wonder. The voice is unfamiliar. Not many people know me. What does she want? I'm Whitney, Deputy Director of Coolidge Music. Are you in Yorkfield? When Whitney introduces herself, it makes me think of my recent video. Its likes have already broken 300,000 and are still rising fast. So Whitney is here for this. So it's you, Miss Whitney. I'm in Yorkfield. The other end clearly has all my information. Not surprising, I filled this out during real name verification. Wonderful, Mr. Ethan. We think you're very talented. Could we meet? Whitney's voice carries warmth. I frown. I have something important to handle today. But she presses on. It won't take much of your time. All right then. After all, she came from far away. I can't bring myself to refuse. We agree to meet at a cafe. In less than 20 minutes, Whitney arrives. She wears a black bodycon dress, striking presence, around 30 years old. Mr. Ethan. She stares at my handsome face in surprise. I didn't expect you to be this handsome. I give a slight smile and invite her to sit. Ms. Whitney, I have important matters later. Let's get straight to the point. Whitney is thrilled inside. Not only am I talented, my looks are stunning too. For her, this is icing on the cake. She brings 3 contracts, from B tier to S tier. Without hesitation, she hands me the S tier contract. A potential star like me deserves nothing less. Mr. Ethan, you likely know why I'm here. Whitney smiles slightly. Coolity Music isn't just a music platform. We also have a music company. We've prepared the top tier S contract for you. The S contract is the industry's highest tier, usually only signed by A-list stars. I didn't expect them to be this generous, directly offering this contract to a newcomer like me. The sincerity is clear. The signing bonus for this contract is 10 million yuan. Fixed music platform revenue, variety shows, commercial performances, and endorsements split 70-30, with you getting 70 and US 30. The contract is for 3 years. After you become a superstar, you'll also receive equity. Whitney describes the generous terms. I read the contract carefully, deeply tempted, especially the 10 million signing bonus, exactly what I urgently need. But I regretfully set the contract down because I have something more important to do. After setting it down, I first call Lily. Did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed today? First thing in the morning telling me about Coolity Music signing an S-tier contract with a 10 million signing bonus, I wouldn't even dare dream of that. I rub my temples, listening to Lily's skepticism on the phone and have to explain. I'm still at the cafe right now, I wouldn't joke about something like this. Lily immediately says, wait there, I'm coming right now, don't make any moves before signing. If there's any trap, you're done for. Before she finishes, she hangs up. Soon Lily, flustered, arrives with a middle-aged man in glasses. I introduce them to Lily. This is Whitney, Deputy Director of Coolity Music. Ms. Whitney, this is my agent and the owner of my studio, Lily. After exchanging pleasantries, Lily points to the man she brought. This is Mr. Trent, a lawyer friend I brought to review the contract. After thoroughly reviewing the contract several times, Mr. Trent nods. The contract is fine. Seeing this, Lily smiles with relief, saying to Whitney, thank you for Coolity Music's recognition of Ethan. Please take care of him on the music side going forward. Inside, she's genuinely happy about my comeback. Just in case, Lily insists on printing a new version of the contract, specifically adding personal commitments, restricting work activities to Yorkfield and nearby areas. At the end, I also submit Grandpa Hayes' diagnosis. You've got some moves, I underestimated you. After seeing off Whitney and Mr. Trent, Lily specifically listens to the new songs I uploaded, also stunned by my creative ability. These songs are really good. I check the time. Lily, I'll treat you to a meal another day, I have something later. I drove. Want me to give you a ride? She kindly asks. No, the place is remote, I'll take the bus. I smile slightly. Before leaving, she reminds me. Don't forget to treat me in the afternoon. I take the bus all the way to a cemetery in Yorkfield's outskirts, holding a bouquet of baby's breath and a pack of beer. At my destination, I carefully walk through the cemetery to an old grave. On the headstone is a young girl's radiant smile, as if meeting my gaze. I gently place the flowers, stroke the photo, a tender smile on my face, ripples of memory rising in my heart. Haley, I came to see you again. Today I brought your favorite flowers, baby's breath and snacks. You little snack monster, you must be craving them by now. Her petite figure surfaces in my mind. I know you fear loneliness most. Today I'll stay with you all day. I murmur to myself, opening a can of beer. Your health was poor, I'll drink the beer, you have the snacks. I tilt my head back and drink. I've been doing well lately, don't worry about me in heaven. I pull out my guitar, gently strumming the strings. When the moonlight falls, I almost change my form. The song drifts, but tears soak my face, choking me until I can't go on. After a long while, I murmur, Haley, if I pray to the heavens for 1,000 years, could I see your face again? The summer night comes slowly. With a buzz of alcohol, I ramble to her about everything that's happened. As night falls, I lean against the headstone as if she's returned to my embrace. I sleep especially soundly that night. At dawn, I look at her photo and smile. Morning, Haley. Did you sleep well last night? I have to go, lots to do. I'll try to visit sooner next time. A pang of sadness rises in my heart. I sling the guitar on my back, clean up the empty cans on the ground. I keep looking back, full of reluctance, slowly walking down the hill. Suddenly, the star-like eyes in my mind begin to lose their glow. Hey, isn't that Ethan? On the other side of the cemetery, Daisy is honoring her ancestors with her family when she unexpectedly spots my somewhat lonely figure. Come on, let me go check. She walks briskly toward me. Ethan! Hearing the familiar call, I stop, a touch of surprise on my face. Daisy stares at my face and freezes. My eyes are red and swollen, obviously from recent emotional release. Miss Daisy, why are you here? I turn my head and lightly wipe the tears from my eyes. My grandmother's grave is here. Today is her death anniversary. The whole family came, she explains, then falls into silence, seeming to ponder why I'm here. In the silence, she guesses at my thoughts, perhaps thinking I came because of an impending fatal illness, searching for my own resting place. The cemeteries in this area are cheaper than those in the city, perhaps fitting my current financial situation. You. Daisy starts to say something but stops, wanting to comfort me but holding back. Miss Daisy, go handle your business. I should leave too. No time for chit-chat. I say plainly. Daisy nods, watching me walk away, her heart heavy. Once I'm far enough, she pulls out her phone and calls Vivian. Daisy, what's up? Vivian asks on the other end. Vivian, guess who I just saw? Daisy says mysteriously. Who, weren't you visiting your grandmother's grave in the Yorkfield outskirts? Vivian asks curiously. I saw Ethan. Daisy's tone carries excitement. The other end pauses, then Vivian's voice comes through. What's he doing there? He was wandering around the cemetery early in the morning, definitely came to look at grave sites, Daisy says. He's so pitiful, still so young, already picking a grave for himself. He's picking a grave? Vivian's voice suddenly rises, shock in her eyes. Are you sure it was him? Daisy nods, her tone laced with sympathy. Yes, I spoke a few words with him. He's so pitiful, all alone with no support. He doesn't have much money, so he can only buy a grave in such a remote place. Her face is full of pity. Vivian, even though you two are just contract, you've lived together 3 years, you're not short on money. Why not help him get a better spot? Sitting in her office, Vivian feels like a boulder is pressing on her heart. She never expected taking a day off was to look at graves in the outskirts. The image of my lonely figure surfaces in her mind, leaving Vivian breathless. Vivian, are you listening? Daisy's voice pulls her from her thoughts. I got it, I'll arrange something. Vivian replies. Doesn't he have only 1 month left? Take him out somewhere, he's so wretched, probably never had a proper trip. Daisy suggests, if you're busy I can go with him and buy him good food often. After hanging up, Vivian begins considering Daisy's suggestions. Maybe she's right. All these years he's been giving quietly, never thinking of himself. Now with so little life left, he must want to travel. Tessa, book me a private room at the Grand Pearl Hotel for lunch. Yes, I'll arrange it right away. Just as I get home, I receive a call from Whitney. Mr. Ethan, the 10 million has been transferred to your account. Did you receive it? Yes, thank you, Ms. Whitney. My mood instantly lifts. With this 10 million, Grandpa Hayes' targeted therapy drug costs are no longer an issue. All my anxiety vanishes. You earned it, Whitney laughs. Are you free this afternoon? Why? Fortune Cast and 1,000 Years of Prayer have great responses. The company has decided to record studio versions and put them on the music platform, Whitney explains. If you have time this afternoon, I'll have someone contact you. After cheerfully agreeing, I can't help glancing at the deposit text again. That long string of digits makes me grin again. This is a joy I haven't felt in a long time. With money, I plan to first go to the hospital to pay Grandpa Hayes' treatment and drug costs. An hour later, I stand outside Stella's office. Ethan, it's been a few days? Seeing me, all her fatigue vanishes, her smile blooming. You raised the money? Need me to contact Dr. Jensen? Stella pours me a glass of water and hands it over. I nod, grateful. She once offered to cover the money herself, but I didn't want to owe a debt. This time too I didn't accept, but her kindness I'll always remember. Any plans for lunch? I ask tentatively. No, why? Her brows rise slightly, her face unable to hide her delight. Can I take you to lunch? This is my first time inviting a lady to a meal. Inside, I'm a bit nervous, heart pounding. 2 charming blushes rise on Stella's cheeks. Why suddenly invite me? She meets my eyes, her laugh like silver bells. Is this your first time asking a girl to a meal? A bit embarrassed, I nod and admit it. Stella, thank you so much for taking care of me and my grandfather all these years. In this world, not many truly care about me, but Stella has shown me that genuine friendship through her actions. I've always held that gratitude in my heart. Now that I've made some money, besides Grandpa's treatment and drug costs, I have some left over, so the first thing I thought of was treating you to a meal as thanks. Stella's eyes flash with tenderness, her lips curved in a smile, her gaze slightly teasing. Shouldn't the first person you invite be your wife? I pause. There are no real feelings between me and Vivian. It's just a contract relationship. Even if she has a sliver of pity for me, once the contract ends, we'll return to completely different worlds. Even seeing each other will be a luxury. Stella, stop teasing me. She and I aren't from the same world. I laugh awkwardly and continue. So are you coming or not? Stella watches my flustered look, full of laughter. Your first time inviting a girl to a meal, I have to give you that honor. No matter what, I'll definitely come to lunch. Hearing her agreement, I happily stand up. I booked a spot at the Grand Pearl Hotel. I'll visit Grandpa first, then pick you up at noon. The Grand Pearl Hotel is famous for top-tier cuisine, expensive seafood, and imperial banquets drawing diners. I've finally saved enough money to treat Stella here. Money brings freedom. Nothing could be more fitting. Stella sits by the window, her gaze gentle and teasing. Ethan, you struck it rich, treating me here. She'd seen me struggle for money, her eyes always full of pity. Now seeing my genuine smile, she's happy for me. Stella, this drink is for you. Thanks for 3 years of care. My sincerity shows on my face, my heart filled with gratitude for her selfless help. Suddenly, a familiar voice cuts in. Vivian and her friend Tessa walk into the hall. Tessa steps right in front of me, voice full of fury. Ethan, you shameless thing, dating behind Vivian's back? Stella and I exchange stunned looks, speechless at this sudden accusation. Tessa, this is a public place. Watch your words. Vivian walks over, her gaze sharp as a blade but tinged with restraint. I stand up and smile. Miss Sterling, you're here too. I openly invite them, knowing my heart is clear. Stella explains, somewhat flustered. Miss Sterling, Ethan and I are just friends, really nothing else. But Tessa won't let it go, her mockery sharper. A single man and woman dining alone, that's nothing? I can't take it anymore and snap. This is just a meal of gratitude. Tessa rolls her eyes in anger and mocks to Vivian. Listen to him, how he protects her. Looking at Vivian, I choose silence. I know clearly in her eyes I'm nothing but an extra in a contract. Our worlds have long been on separate paths. The contract is ending soon, and my life will move far away with it. Explaining would only invite humiliation. No need to say more, but I never expected Vivian would actually ask. Ethan, aren't you going to explain your relationship? Her words catch me off guard. The usually icy billionaire CEO actually cares about my relationship with Stella. Hearing me call Stella by her name, seeing me defend her, Vivian must feel some loss inside, as if her territory has been invaded. My silence also makes her feel her dignity has been challenged. I freeze for a moment, hardly imagining Vivian would question me. When we signed the contract, she clearly stated I could look for someone I liked, just not too openly during the marriage. And isn't she herself close with Damien? It seems she just won't let me cross the line. Perhaps her questioning is just to protect her CEO image. After all, I'm her husband in name. Bringing another woman to dinner isn't quite proper. I sigh softly, about to explain, when a sudden voice interrupts. Vivian, what a coincidence, you're dining here too? Following the voice, Damien walks toward us, his face beaming with delight. With him are 3 or 4 men and women smiling brightly. I instantly recognize the core cast of The Tale of Hannah, all here. Vivian, I was just about to invite you. What a coincidence. Damien smiles and walks to Vivian's side. Miss Sterling, hello. The other actors greet this beautiful investor respectfully. Hello, here for a gathering? Vivian nods and asks, tone slightly cold. Yes, the weather's hot lately and everyone's been working hard, so I invited them to get together, Damien says, his eyes glancing at me. Vivian, you haven't eaten yet? Why not join us, the more the merrier, he suggests. Before Vivian responds, Coralie excitedly walks up to me. Ethan, you're here too. Though I'm not in The Tale of Hannah, because we often discuss acting on WhatsApp, Coralie has gotten plenty of inspiration from me and her character has improved a lot. Coralie, I smile slightly. She then introduces me to everyone. This is Ethan. He almost played Yorin, but due to some unexpected issues, he didn't end up in it. Don't let his youth fool you, his acting is absolutely top tier. I can't help giving a wry smile. Coralie really is putting me on a pedestal, but sensing the others' disdain, I naturally won't push myself on them. Your food hasn't arrived yet, why not join us? I have some things to discuss with you. Coralie warmly invites me. Vivian's brow furrows slightly. She naturally knows Coralie, this leading lady of the industry, has always been single. How did she connect with me? Coralie's warmth toward me makes Vivian a bit uneasy. Meanwhile, Coralie's invitation makes me a bit awkward. It's your cast gathering, it's not really appropriate for me to join. What's the harm, we're all in the same industry, bound to run into each other, Coralie says cheerfully. Won't you give me the honor? I look at Stella with a wry smile, and have no choice but to nod and agree. After all, Coralie has been good to me. Lily once told me, when my role got changed, Coralie even argued with Director Hudson on my behalf. The group enters the luxury private room and sits down. Vivian sits with Tessa and Una beside her, leaving no spot for Damien. Damien, sit here. Una smiles and stands up. My bad for not being thoughtful. I wanted to be close to Miss Sterling and forgot you're her boyfriend. No offense. Not at all, it's all the same. Damien sits contentedly beside Vivian. By now, rumors of Damien and Vivian's relationship have spread throughout the cast. The Tale of Hannah seems tailor-made for Damien, showing Vivian's favor. I lower my head playing with my phone, as if it doesn't concern me. Vivian looks at me, sees me calm as ever, and feels irritation rise. But sudden change breaks the calm. Stella stands abruptly, her face ice cold. Miss Sterling, what is the meaning of this? She simply can't believe Vivian, as Ethan's wife, openly has a boyfriend, even shamelessly right in front of Ethan. Isn't this a tremendous humiliation for Ethan? In this moment, Stella's heart is wrenched in pain. No wonder Ethan never mentioned his wife. She's this unworthy. Everyone's eyes turn to Stella. She sternly questions Vivian. You're Ethan's wife. Carrying on an affair so openly right in front of him, how can you face him? What do you take him for? Flirting with another man right in front of him? Do you have any sense of shame? Once she speaks, the entire room erupts. Vivian is married? Married and seeing another man in front of her husband? Rich women play this hard? In an instant, everyone's gaze toward Vivian becomes complex. Vivian looks like an unapproachable ice queen, but turns out she's a real wild one underneath. You really can't judge a book by its cover. I look up in shock, glancing at Vivian, her brow tightly furrowed, barely able to maintain her composure. I quickly say, Stella, stop. I didn't expect Stella to stand up for me. Touched but also anxious, I don't want this contract marriage to become known to everyone. Vivian and I agreed long ago. Stella looks at me with pity. Ethan, I know you're kind, but I can't watch you get bullied. She turns sharply to Vivian. Miss Sterling, I understand your family has wealth and power. Ethan is just a helpless orphan, but since you are his wife, you should uphold fidelity. Trampling on his feelings like this, can you bear it? If you have no feelings for him, just divorce. With your beauty and wealth, what kind of man can't you find? Why bully such a kind person? I need an explanation. The air freezes instantly. The room is so quiet, only breathing remains. Concerning Vivian as the investor, no one dares speak, only contempt and sighs filling their hearts. With a husband at home, flaunting it in front of outsiders is truly absurd. Miss, you've misunderstood Vivian. Damien's face turns ugly. He knows this affects Vivian's reputation and his own, and stands up. If rumors spread, tomorrow's internet will blow up. He can already foresee tomorrow's headlines. But just then, Vivian says something that catches Damien completely off guard.